What's going on, Internet? The Black Okage here, aka TBH. And to be honest, I'd like to welcome you guys back to the Game and Illuminaughty podcast. We are the Enlightened Gamers, and we're getting into some fun shit in episode 126. If you're watching the video version of the show at youtube.com/GI updates, know this show is available on Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, Amazon, and all other major podcast platforms. Also, be sure to rate the show 5 stars on Apple and Spotify. We need your 5-star rating on Apple and Spotify to help push us in the algorithm so we can bring in new potential listeners, especially because this episode is probably going to go down in books as one of the greatest episodes in GI history. But let me introduce you guys to my co-host, the first of which has preyed on my downfall since day one. He hasn't even finished one Yakuza game, but somehow thinks he's going to finish me today when he quote-unquote puts me on trial. UTXJJ the Don, say what up to the people.
Hey, look at that. Already starting off with the lie. This is going to be fun. I'll just let you know. This is going to be very fun. I'm tired of this. Your day is coming, sir. We're going to get to it.
Anyways, my second co-host, he hasn't gotten his game to run on the Ouya yet, but somehow he thinks he's going to run me off the internet with his quote-unquote when he puts me on trial as well. Ethos, say what up to the people.
I want the people to know that this is all scripted. He couldn't think of this on the fly. So that's already a sign that he knows he's done today. How's everybody doing today?
You guys got me.
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah. And our special guest for today, he learned the hard way how you can't stop a real one when he said he was going to roast me. Fun fact, he said he was going to roast me before we did. What was the original show? It was like some tech show we were supposed to do, and then turned into G4 After Dark. And he ended up getting
something
roasted.
like that.
Yeah, he ended up getting
okay.
roasted. Yeah. He's a legendary caster in the esports realm. He's my fellow co-host on G4. Golden Boy, say what up to the people. Plug your socials.
Hello, it is great to be here, but also, there are a few bones I have to pick with this introduction. Firstly, I wanted to make a tech show with TBH because I thought that it'd be fun, and then he says, I don't want to talk about anything nerdy on a tech show. What else are you supposed to do on a freaking tech show? It's a tech show. You're supposed to talk nerdy. Secondly, you spelled esports wrong, TBH. Come on, man. That's the worst one. You did.
That's crazy. Because just before we started recording, I had just said I'm tired. I've been going through a lot. Now this man coming out, so we about to run a 3v1. So I'm gonna get you too.
Better like if you're gonna start with esports and then you're gonna spell it wrong, I gotta call it out. So I'm just trying to be a good friend here. Okay. I care about you, buddy. I care about you.
I thought this was gonna be a 2v1, but I see what this is gonna be today.
Oh no, I'm gonna be a bystander, but I just had to get my one little shot in there before the horde comes. Oh, okay.
All right. Before we get into today's show, freebies for the month of May on Xbox. You guys get Yuku's Island Express, The Inner World, Hydro Thunder Hurricane, and Viva Pinata Party Animals. On PlayStation, you get FIFA 22, Tribes of Midgard, and that's for the PS4 and the 5. And then this is a PS4 exclusive, Curse of the Dead Gods. And then on Amazon, you get Ghost Runner, Ride 4, Monster Truck Champion Rebel Edition, and Metal Slug 3. I was too lazy to look up what was free on the Epic Game Store. Do that on your own free time. All right, let's get into today's show. So before we actually talk about a little bit about Overwatch 2, I wanted you to give a little quick testify, Ethos, because you were actually one of the few lucky people to get your hands on the Steam Deck. We did release like a whole full-blown like review on the GI channel, but just maybe like a quick little 2-minute, like what's your thoughts on that real quick before we get into the other part?
Yeah, TLDR, life-changing, great. It's like Christmas come early. I feel like I'm a kid at a candy shop all over again. Fantastic piece of hardware. Software is a work in progress. They're adding stuff to it every single week, so always getting something new, through a patch. But other than that, it's probably the coolest handheld I've ever had, and I love it.
Damn, better than the Game Boy SP?
Yeah. I was a Vita lover. I was loved the Game Boy Advance, loved the Game Boy Advance SP, the DS, 3DS. I've owned a lot of it. Had an N-Gage back in the day.
N-Gage.
So I had a lot of those old school handhelds, and this is probably by far my favorite one.
Do you feel like Nintendo should be worried?
I don't think Nintendo needs to be worried from like a sales standpoint, but I will say it is it's very damning to the Switch from like if you know what you're doing. I really don't see a need for a Switch anymore unless I play multiplayer games.
Did you have you used the oh my god, what's the VR device called? Oh my goodness, the Steam VR.
What? Oh, no, you're talking about the Index, right?
The Index, yeah. So would you say that the Index, or this is like the handheld version, is like the Index to the Quest, like the Index, like the superior version to the Quest? and this is the superior version to like all maybe handheld emulators and also the Switch.
Yeah, I'd give that to you because like Index was kind of more like high-end enthusiast type of thing, right? Like more expensive, kind of more clunky. You had to like learn how to use it more compared to like the Quest, more plug-in. You can definitely kind of plug and play this thing. Like for the most part, like there are a lot of games like out of the box you can just boot up and it's just gonna work. But there are some of those games that are a little finicky that you're gonna have to like know how to fine-tune yourself and spend a little time doing it. But it's, if you don't mind that and you just like the freedom and like flexibility where it's like it really is this like sandbox that lets you just, if you think you can do it, go for it, and it won't stop you from doing it. Like you can do it. Like there's a lot of cool things that like I've just discovered just by messing around with it. And I've never used Linux before. Like I've used like Ubuntu, but I've never used Linux as an operating system. So this is my first time actually
Ubuntu.
trying it. Yeah,
I haven't heard that shit since high school. Jesus.
Yeah. Shout out to all my Ubuntu users.
I think this is actually like a really interesting time, like for gaming and like handhelds, because I watched the review the other day. There's another device that just came out. It's called the Aya Neo. And it looks like the Steam Deck, like the Switch 2, and it's a full-blown PC in your hand too. And from the reviews that I've watched, they said like functionally and like in terms of the number of the games that it can run, it's actually better than the Steam Deck. It's just the price is out of control compared to, it's like 1,300 compared to the Steam Deck.
Yeah,
like
I'm looking at it right now. It's 12, 15.
15 was
yeah, it looked really,
that's the problem.
It's exciting though, because it's like it's gonna create competition, I think. And I think in the next 5 years, like this could be like a whole new genre or thing of gaming where we're gonna start seeing more PC handhelds. So like I think it's like we're on the cusp of something exciting, and I'm not mad at it.
I think we're in like a really cool renaissance, I think, of handhelds that like I think now we've finally gotten to the point with technology where the power capabilities and how we've been able to shrink power so small now that we're able to get, like, the Steam Deck is essentially like a PlayStation, like a PS4, like a little, it's even stronger than the PS4 was, but it's like a hyper powered PS4 in your hand. And when you think about that, that's kind of insane. Like back in the day when we only had Game Boy Colors and stuff like that back in the day, just imagining, you know, that this is what the escalation can be like. So you never know like what the future can hold. It seems like a lot of the market right now, like Xbox wants you to be able to play your games wherever you want, right? So this kind of reinforces that ideology of like being able to play your games however, wherever you want. And I was a Vita fan. I was really mad at Sony about how they discontinued it and they failed to support it because I always felt it had so much potential. I've said that like the Vita basically walked so that, you know, the Switch could run, and now I feel like the Steam Deck's like flying now. So I think I definitely agree. I think like it'll be very interesting to see if Nintendo stops playing around and makes a pro version of the Switch or whatever their new version of the Switch will be. And just seeing like actually Valve, because Valve has said they are blown away and they've been making a boatload of money off of this thing. Like it's been selling like a ton of a ton of units have been selling. Like it's been always on the top 3 of their Steam top sellers list like every single week. So that's a positive sign. It's very possible that like they're going to see this huge want of people who want this type of tech, and they, you know, they'll make a second generation of the Steam Deck. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't. And you know, that just makes things even better for everybody. So yeah, definitely excited for this.
Have you docked it yet? Like played it in dock mode?
Yeah, I spent a little bit of time with it. I've been honestly more fascinated with the handheld capability.
With the handheld portion, yeah.
Yeah, it's
makes
like,
sense.
you know, I got this whole thing to want to go like do stuff like play it on my couch, like, you know, with the pandemic and everything like that. Like I'm not really using this thing as like I'm gonna walk outside and play this thing like walking around or whatever. It's not really what I've been using it for, but it's been nice to be able to like step away from sitting at a desk and a table and just sit back like on my bed, on the couch, you know, in between when I'm like at the office or something like that. Like I can just pop this thing out, I can plug in a game, I can play it, then I could turn it off, I can come home later on, I could just turn back on my PC or whatever it is, and I can continue where I left off. Like it's actually really cool. Just being able to do that however I want and try like emulation and play older games on it and stuff like that. It's really a dream come true.
Cool.
Well, you sold me.
What's the name?
I'm buying this thing.
100%.
Yeah, if you can get that's you're assuming you can get your
You
hands.
get your
on
I would say
You can
if you
get
can pre-order, like it's $5. You don't lose them. There's no loss really. It's $5. You know, you'll have to wait until probably like Q4 or the beginning of next year. But when you get one, or you might get lucky, maybe they speed up production even further. But like if you get your hands on one, I don't think anyone's gonna buy this thing and regret it. I feel like everyone who bought it has been like just surprised and amazed by it. So
Put that 5 down and hope you get that golden ticket from Willy Wonka one day.
pretty much.
And that was going to
okay.
that was going to lead to my question, Ethos. You know how you remember when the PS5 came out, and
Yeah.
you know we said that we didn't recommend it at the time because there were no games, right? But this is a specific situation because I mean you could play PC games and you could play emulators pretty much on almost anything that you want, and if you find out how to do it and just lead into your imagination. So would you recommend someone like going to get it day one if they can, or just go to get it now?
If you can get your hands on this at retail, I would say get it immediately. Like if you somehow get lucky and you got a chance of getting it, or a friend wants to sell it to you, get it. Because like even if you don't like it, there are a ton of people who are gonna want this device. And I personally think it is like it doesn't have the issue that consoles have day one, where it's like, well, where's the games? What am I supposed to play on this thing, right? Like every single game, a majority of your games on your Steam library, you're gonna be able to play. Like I think they told me like 300 of the games that are in my library right now are verified. So that means I can just play them and they're gonna work. And some of them are unsupported, but I've played like 5 games that Valve was like, yeah, unsupported. We haven't tested this game, so we don't know if it's gonna work on the Steam Deck. And it just worked. I just booted it up and it just worked. I've had other games, like 2 games where I couldn't get it to work, but I had to like do some tweaking. But for the most part, like I was able to get DMC 5. I was playing Devil May Cry on it, Virgil Edition. 60 FPS. I was able to play Witcher 3 on it, 60 FPS. I was able to play Elden Ring at it at about 50 FPS. Like it's kind of insane. Older games even now, I've seen people play Red Dead Redemption 2, 60 FPS. It's kind of crazy. So yeah.
What was I about to say? I totally just lost my train of thought because I'm freaking tired. I was gonna say, don't save it for the rest of the video. We have a whole in-depth video on the GI channel, youtube.com/GI updates. If you guys want to, it's a whole 17-minute video where he reviews it. So if you want to hear more, I just wanted you to give like a quick little, in case they didn't see that, go check out that video. And then also, are you testing this game on Samurai Zero?
Yes, I've been testing it and it is actually playable right now. I'm gonna make improvement, but yeah, it's fully playable on Steam Deck.
Yeah, GB, Samurai Zero is Ethos's game that he's working on. He's our resident game developer, so he thinks he's smarter than everybody else.
Yeah, absolutely. I go around with a big brain, just hit doors, just trying to get through doors because of my.
Well, considering that me and you could have probably just talked for like 30 minutes about the Steam Deck, I think I like Ethos. We're gonna keep in touch.
Oh, okay, very well.
Yeah. I'm gonna make sure we get that exclusive, G. I'm gonna make sure we get that exclusive for you.
We're good friends.
All right, man. Let's talk about Overwatch 2. Recently, they had a beta, trying to show it off to the people, get some feedback. It's been like 2-3 years in development, I believe. 5v5, no longer 6v6. New character, Sword Jorn, whatever her name is. She's like the friend of or the teammate of Soldier 76. New game mode where instead of pushing the payload, now you can push and pull the payload. How are we feeling about this, Ethos?
Why did you pick me first? No, ask Golden Boy.
Matter of fact, yeah, you're the esports guy. Yeah, you're the esports guy. How are we feeling about Overwatch 2, the beta?
Yeah. No, it's I think it, well, firstly, I think the thing that kind of needs to be cleared up first is that like a lot of people were going into this expecting this to be like Overwatch 2, right? Like if that makes sense, like an actual like true to life sequel. This is more of an update because, and partly because of the Overwatch League, they had to, they needed to do something different because if they kept using the original Overwatch, like the viewers were tanking. It simply just wasn't appealing to, like watch, because at that point the meta has kind of been set in stone. So now that this new update's out and we have 5v5 and we have a new hero to boot, like it really does create kind of like the feeling you had when the game first came out. Like you don't really know what the strategies are. What is the meta compositions? Who are going to be the heroes that you like absolutely need to have? And I'm sure like as the pros continue to break it all down, like that's just going to become more and more of a constant. And we're going to know like, okay, yeah, this is the way to play the game, quote unquote. But that being said, it's nice to kind of feel like we're getting something, new again. Because, to be fair, Overwatch has been in a content drought for like 2.5 years, which is Blizzard's fault. And, it's nice that they're releasing stuff now, but I think the fear of the community right now is like, are they going to keep releasing stuff, or are they just kind of going to do the same crap that they did last time? So as far as like the game goes, it's fun to play. I enjoy it. I think 1 tank, 5 players was the right direction for it to go in. Tanks are super important now, but your aim is also important. The biggest thing was that they removed stuns from the game, which is probably like the biggest change, because that was the part of the game that everyone hated to play. It's very jarring to play a first-person shooter and then get stunned and not be able to move your crosshair, to be able to move your character. It works in MOBAs, but it doesn't work in a first-person shooter. So I'm just glad that they've removed that element from it, and hopefully it just leads to like more dynamic gameplay. But I would say right now, like if you like Overwatch and you liked Overwatch 1, you're really gonna like this. There's nothing really, changing for you. If you were skeptical on Overwatch 1, but now, with this new update, I would encourage you to give it a try. And if you always hated Overwatch for its chaotic gameplay, then it's still chaotic. So it's definitely not for you. So same rules still apply.
Yeah, I do like the change of the 5v5 versus the 6. That's the one positive I would put. Like, that was the first thing that I noticed. It did feel less chaotic compared to the original Overwatch. It made it feel almost more like a more traditional MOBA, because usually in MOBAs you only run one tank. So it puts more emphasis on somebody needs to tank correctly, and then the damage output. It's not enough content here. I'm okay with them just calling it an update. Other than the only thing I could wrap my brain around why they're calling it Overwatch 2 is for marketing purposes. But I feel like
it's the PvE. There's a big PvE campaign that's coming. Course. That is Overwatch 2.
But here's the issue with that then. Overwatch is known more so for the PvP. That's what people are looking forward to. I think if they would have had at least three new characters, 3 to 5, I think on top of like the PvP, it just doesn't feel like there's enough meat and potatoes in terms of the changes. Because I felt right at home. I was like, I feel like I played this already. Like, it's just not enough there to appeal to the casual. And what I think kind of proves what you were saying kind of proves what I was thinking. Everything you said pertains more so to the pro crowd. And the PvE, sure, that'll appeal to the casuals, but you still got to get the casuals on the multiplayer too to keep the game healthy and alive, because you don't just need pro players. You need above average players and casuals to actually want to watch the game as well. So I think there needs to be more emphasis on putting meat and potatoes in the actual multiplayer. Right now, there's not enough here, in my opinion, to warrant to call it Overwatch 2. It should have just been a free update, and I think everybody would have been okay with that. I'm not mad at it. I don't understand like some of the hate that it's been getting, but I'm not particularly fond of it. What about you, Jay?
Yeah, so I'm the only one in here that did not get a chance to play. I didn't win a code, so I didn't get to play it, but I was watching everybody else play, and from a general consumer point, if you know nothing about Overwatch other than what the game is, you're seeing everyone call this Overwatch 2 and you're seeing people play the beta. How would you even know that this is an update or a new game, which it isn't a new game? That's the most confusing part. And I think that that's just what's convoluting everyone's brains. They're like, why is it called Overwatch 2 if it looks exactly like Overwatch? And if you don't know what changes that they made, if you didn't look at any notes, or if you weren't smart enough to see the changes. But again, I'm talking from a casual standpoint, so you probably wouldn't know that 6v6 went to 5v5 and they and it's only one tank. Like, those are aspects that, again, what TBH was going to those are things that the pro players know, and those are the things that the above average players that have been playing Overwatch for a while know. But just to a casual person, you see Overwatch 2, and then you're seeing that it looks almost exactly the same, has one new character, has one new game mode. Why not just make it a free update? I feel like it was actually the worst idea to call it Overwatch.
I agree with you
from a marketing standpoint. Like, that's the part that really just gets me. I feel like if they were going to call it Overwatch 2, they should have just waited until the PvE aspect came out and just make that totally separate, and then make Overwatch, just make the PvP aspect, just make that an update, and then just continue to make it like a live service game, like Activision is doing for Warzone. Like, just do that. I think that would have been a better route, and I think that's what's really getting to people. That's what's really crawling to people's skin, is just the fact that, like, you're calling this Overwatch 2. We don't really see too many updates right now. We just see one new person and some gameplay aspects that, again, the casual person wouldn't know. And I think that's what's really getting to people. And then I also saw another thing that literally after the first week, when all the big streamers were playing it, and then you can get the drops, like the Twitch viewer count, like for Overwatch period, dropped like significantly. So I know that everybody gets the hype. They're like, oh, I want to play this, I want to play this, I want to play this, because it's a new game. And then the next week comes, and then you just see the significant drop. You just see people go back to whatever they were playing, and you see people people going back to view, the other game that they were viewing at first. So I don't know if, this was necessarily the best thing to do for them, but I guess we'll see. I'm excited about the PvE though.
The counter argument to what you would say, a lot of people would be like, well, you can't use Twitch or YouTube as a metric to determine how popular a game is, because on Twitch, PUBG is not popular, but it's still one of the biggest games in the world because emerging markets are playing it, especially on mobile. But I do feel like that argument is fair for Overwatch 2 because viewership is such an important component because of that esports segment of it. The fact that people don't want to watch it. Like, I knew this game had a serious problem when I was streaming it, and literally more than half the chat was like, yo, TBH, you're back on Overwatch? And I kept having to repeat myself, this is Overwatch 2. And I wasn't trying to be funny. The fact that like this game can't pass the eye test, that matters. And I think they're going to have an uphill battle if they don't find a way to show that they're a better way of articulating what's different about this game. Now, can I ask you how you feel about it, Ethos?
Oh, sure. Yes, sure, buddy. I would love to give you my opinion now.
Contribute your goddamn 35.
Yeah, let me contribute my 35. I agree. I don't feel like there's enough here to warrant the sequel name. I think back at a lot of the games that we played, like sequel wise, it's like gave themselves like the number 2. Like looking at like I say like what felt kind of similar to this, but still in retrospect still feels like a mile longer, is like when Destiny went from 1 to 2. And I remember this was like something that was popping up where some people were like, I can't tell the difference between D1 and D2, like when it was in beta. But I mean, now it's like night and day different now. Like, so like I don't know. I really think it's less of all of this, like the graphical appearance stuff like that. I just think that the Overwatch formula is kind of stale. Like, I just don't think people are excited for it. Like, we've had, like, when Overwatch 1 came out, like, it was exciting because we didn't have this concept of hero shooters as, like, mainstream as it is now, right? Like, now, like, every other type of game, it had, like, some sort of hero shooter type of, like, vibe, or was experimenting with hero shooter, like, mechanics. Like, oh, you're gonna play these cool characters, and they have abilities and stuff. Like, most, like, like, Black Ops Call of Duty went through that phase. They did it, right after Overwatch. They did it with Black Ops 3, and a bunch of other shooters started to copy that formula too, because Overwatch was the popular kid. But I think a match of like the formula's kind of gotten stale, and what you expect from a sequel is usually like you go into the back end and you really start twisting and changing some like a lot of mechanics. But it feels like a lot of it is like what like GB said. It was just like it feels like the core of the game is still the same. It's just we're changing like numbers around. We're changing like how many people are playing on the maps, but the maps are ultimately from a design standpoint still the same. We have a push game mode, but it doesn't really get me excited when I play it. I'm just like, okay, cool, another game mode. And we have some new maps, but these are maps that just like, I don't really feel something really different about them that I would have not seen in Overwatch 1, right? Like, adding weather effects and we made shiny new models only does like so much when you like compared to like what I think people really want is like what mechanical like stuff are you doing. And yeah, you can add new characters. There's different new characters. Like I've played it, like Orisa is totally different. Like Orisa's a monster now. And like Doomfist is a monster now too.
Yeah,
so like,
you're right.
Yeah, but like for like what JJ was saying, but for an average consumer, they don't see that. They just see horse tank and
horse lady's back.
Dude, yeah, horse lady's the same, and black dude that jumps in the air and meteor strikes. They're both back, and they had little tweaks, but it's still the same character. And I think like if they had come out and been like, okay, we've got 5 new heroes, or maybe if they had come out and been like, okay, there's a whole brand new cast of characters, then I think it would have warranted like the number 2. People would have been like, okay, this is different because I'm seeing new characters. But majority of the cast is the same, and a lot of the characters are still mechanically the same outside of like they got a roll passive, or we move this thing around, and only really I'd say like 3 to 4 of the like 16-20 characters actually mechanically feel different. The rest of them still feel the same with just little tweaks here and there. So
I was just gonna say, like, if they firstly to kind of go to the marketing thing, like that's purely what it was to me, money. At least. Because I remember working BlizzCon. I was doing Overwatch World Cup at the time, and that was around the time where the Hong Kong situation had come about. And that was also the year, if I'm correct, that they did announce Overwatch 2. And a lot of people felt like that they were announcing that, to like push the controversies to the side. And obviously that wasn't necessarily the case. Obviously it did help them, but I know that they were like building that up for about a year or two now. But it wasn't, I always understood it as just like the next significant update to Overwatch, because back when I first started working the game 6 years ago, you know, like what was told to me was that Overwatch, and this came directly from, you know, like head execs at Blizzard and the devs at Team 4, was that Overwatch was going to be the brand, and that everything just fell, kind of like Warzone.
Yeah,
right.
It's just brand. It's just Overwatch.
It's just the brand, and everything falls under it, you know. And then they'll update it with a new thing, because they had said that was the issue with Destiny 2, was that there wasn't enough from Destiny 1 to Destiny 2 to like convince people that this is new, right? And you know, so that was like a Activision thing apparently, and then they've since like obviously gone away from it. But it happens, and then you're like, okay, cool, what else is coming? Like, you don't even get like reworks for Soldier 76. You don't get any reworks for Tracer. You got reworks for Orisa. Like, if everyone had a rework, maybe I'd be like, okay, then this is justifiable. The other thing that really screws them here is that the character models are Overwatch 1 character models, because the Overwatch 2 character models are not done yet.
Yep.
So that is another part of the problem, because the guns are supposed to look different. The sound effects are the Overwatch 2 sound effects.
Sounds good. The sound is good.
Like Soldier 76's gun sounds freaking incredible. Whenever Cassidy, or formerly McCree, like shoots the revolver, it got a lot of bass to it. Sounds awesome. But they have to release the skins. And literally the only reason why we're able to do this right now and play it is because of the Overwatch League. So I do think that it's like they shot themselves in the foot. I mean, to be fair, Blizzard, as much as I love Overwatch,
has been doing that.
their feet are just Swiss cheese at this point. They have shot themselves in the foot so many times. I mean, even with the formation of the Overwatch League, they shot themselves in the foot. So it's really just, you know, it's unfortunate. It's still a fun game to play. It's just that if you've played it before, you know what to expect. There's really nothing different there.
The example I can think of off the top of my head that was a good example for like what I mean when I say it has to pass the eye test when it comes to sequels for like casuals. I believe it was E3. I don't know if you guys remember, but was it Assassin's Creed 1? Decent game, but it was a little undercooked. And then they revealed Assassin's Creed 3, I believe, at the E3 that year. And there was a specific moment where Ezio was like climbing on the edge, and then he stabbed the dude and pulled him down. We hadn't seen that before. I said, oh my god, I'm pre-ordering this game. Like that simple mechanic right there, I was like, that completely changes the stealth mechanics of because before you had to literally walk up and like poke somebody. Basically the running on the roofs was just to just get from point A to B, but now it was an asset to actually helping you become more of an assassin. And that's what I mean when I say you got to put something in there that's very tangible for people to simply understand, oh, this is a completely different game. And I think Overwatch 2 missed that ship. It's not too late to call it just an Overwatch update. Let's call it.
I would straight up, if I was Blizzard, I would just say can the 2, call it Overwatch, push 2's branch into Overwatch and say, hey, we're going to be on Overwatch. Like, just let people know, just be like, hey, it's not finished. It's definitely not finished, but this is like people want to play. Because I've not heard anyone, even from the pro scene or just people who are into the game, say that like they want to go back to Overwatch 1, which I guess that's a positive, is that your changes are positively being received. That like there are people who are like, yeah, I'd rather take Overwatch 2's meta and form of characters and how Overwatch 1 was, because you do have, it could have been worse. It could have been the Destiny situation where people hated how 2 first was designed and wanted to go back to 1. So I guess that's like a positive. They did something right. But I think like they just should, if they wanted to 2, they would have done more. But me, I'd agree. I think they just take the L on it, just say, hey, you know what, screw it, we listen to our fans' feedback. It's just Overwatch. That's the name of the franchise. It's just Overwatch.
Well, it doesn't help that it's confusing on the launcher as well, by the way, because Overwatch is going to like Overwatch. So like it's on Overwatch. Even when you go on Twitch, it's Overwatch. It's not Overwatch 2. It's just like it's so super confusing, man.
I didn't think I had the beta. Now that you brought that up, I didn't know you had to switch a thing for a while.
And that's another example of how they're mixed messaging. They're saying one thing, it's a sequel, but they're using all the OG stuff.
I think the proper way to market this, to set the expectations correctly, would be call it Overwatch with like a subtitle, especially because there's going to be a PvP story,
like Halo Infinite, you know.
Overwatch, Genji's Revenge. So then people know this is not a new game. This is not a new game, but it's more of an expansion. You know.
Like, does anyone know if they're going to just ultimately sunset like Overwatch? And I'm saying they will quote fingers. Are they going to sunset this once Overwatch 2 becomes the thing?
Yes. Overwatch as a game will not exist anymore. But I believe 6v6 will still be a playlist option in Overwatch 2. And then, maybe they'll add some variety to the maps, because the other thing that they did was like they changed a lot of the time of days for the maps, which I don't know, to me just seems like you could have just done that. You could have done that when the game came out, bro. Like that's just a skybox issue. You're just changing the skybox. But hell if I know. I don't know art in games, and it's Blizzard, so they take 5 years to like settle on even like a toenail design.
Yes, sir. Well, there you have it. How is the Overwatch beta still going?
Yeah, I played it today.
So the 17th.
The 17th?
Okay. 17th, yeah.
We are recording this podcast on May 7th, so I mean, you still got 10 days to play it.
If you got access.
If you got, oh yeah.
Yeah, if you got it.
Good luck. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the moment you all been waiting for. Why everybody is waiting in the Discord stage, listening live. If you are, join the Discord, patreon.com/GI updates, $10 tier. One-time fee. You don't have to keep, repaying if you can't afford it. We understand.
Hey, what's going on? These UTXJs to Don, 1/3 of the Gaming Illuminati podcast. And if you're a huge fan of pop culture like me, you're going to be eating with some of the heat in the month of May. We just had Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness come out in theaters this week, and Obi-Wan Kenobi will start at the end of May. Now, our podcast sponsor for today's episode, Zavvi, has everything you need if you're trying to show out in public with some nice merch or get a dope statue collection for your home office. But to kick things off for the new Zavvi collection, did you know that the Godfather movie is on its 50th anniversary? Zavvi just dropped this new collection this past Friday and has everything from shoes to a 36cm action figure of Vito Corleone himself. That's pretty cool for such an iconic franchise. Check out the link in the description or search Zavvi.com and use the code GI Podcast and check out for 20% off. Now, if you want to purchase anything else outside of clothing, you can use the code and get 10% off. Also this month, Zavvi released the latest edition of The Lowdown, which is their free digital monthly magazine. This month, they go behind the scenes on Doctor Strange, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Pixar's Lightyear, Horror Dash Cam, and much more. Now, if you're a Zavvi Red Carpet member, you're going to get some exclusive artwork, bonus articles, and more special offers. Remember, go to Zavvi.com, that's ZAVVI.com, and use code GI Podcast for 20% off of clothing and 10% off of other items. Take your love of video games and pop culture to the next level with Zavvi.
But yeah, it's time for, what are we calling this? United States or the multiverse versus TBH?
People versus TBH, yeah.
People versus TBH, the fraud.
Oh, hold on.
Wow.
Okay. All right. The people versus TBH. All right. So just to give context for those of you unaware, recently I did a stream where I fought what most consider the hardest boss in Elden Ring, Millennia. She's a swordsman. She's crazy with the combo. She does strings, as LTG likes to say. She's fast. She'll one-shot you, and it took me 16 hours to beat. And ever since then, they've been clowning on me, saying I'm a fraud, saying I'm not a real gamer, just tearing me down, which is it sucks to see all this black on black crime. So they want to put me on trial.
Ooh.
They want to put me on trial. They want to put me on trial because they said I don't deserve to be $5 tier. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys take the floor and let you state your case and why you guys think that I'm a fraud, why this should be a big deal, why I've been living in your brain rent free for the past week. But also, one thing I would like to say is I'm going to let you guys state your case, state your evidence. I'll answer whatever questions is the best of my ability. Just keep it respectful. I'll listen. Why are you guys laughing? I'll listen to you guys. All I ask is that you listen to me back. That's all, guys. That's all I ask. That's all I ask. Let's keep it respectful.
No,
hold on.
Playing the victim there.
No, I'm not. Listen. I just want this trial to be fair and balanced like Fox News, okay, guys? I just want it to be fair and balanced, all right? Go ahead. Say what you got to say. Get it off your chest.
Are you your own defense?
Oh, absolutely. I don't need nobody. All
right. You sure you don't want a lawyer? Anybody?
I don't need a lawyer.
Anybody?
Okay. I'm fine.
All right.
can defend you if you like.
No, go ahead. Just state your points. Let's get to it.
No, I'm just a bystander in the crowd at this point. Just here to enjoy the show.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come here tonight to Basically, just go after this man.
A menace,
TBH,
a menace to society.
yeah, he has at this point. This is a war crime that happened last week. This is a war crime upon the entire gaming community, not only with Game Illuminaughty. I call it secondhand embarrassment. My co-lawyer here, Ethos, also called secondhand embarrassment.
It was very embarrassing.
Yeah,
I think I have
with
trauma.
what
Definitely have trauma.
Yeah, I have trauma. I definitely have trauma, and I may need to go see a therapist after this. So we have at least 15. I probably could have come up with more. I probably could have come up with more, honestly. But we have 15 pieces of evidence, and we are going to ask the defendant, and we're going to get his answer about this. And
are we going to ask for his defense for each one of these things to claim, like, objection? Do we want to see if he wants to object to any of these?
Yeah, we're going. Yeah, we're going to answer some questions, and then we're going to see if he's lying or not.
Yeah. We'll go through each of these, TBH. If you feel like one of these is unfair, feel free to object. You can say objection for under whatever grounds you wish to state.
I'm just here to have a balanced, mature conversation about the situation.
Of course.
Mature. Okay, all right.
Also, I'd say we represent for a defamation case coming up against you, the ace of all trades, Mr. Gamerflex. He is definitely suing you for defamation of character after your performance of Millennia. But that's a different case. We'll get to that later. Do you want to go?
That is a different case. Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and start with the most heinous crime. I think this is even more heinous than how long that it took.
Yeah, agreed.
This is more heinous than how long it took. So, defendant TBH, can you tell the audience here, what level were you when you fought Millennia?
Level 239.
Sir, do you feel like that was totally over leveled, or do you feel like that was the correct level to fight this boss?
I don't care.
You don't care. All right. We already see that the
you reach
defendant
level
is being hostile.
239?
Yeah, the defendant is hostile.
Allowing to approach the defendant as hostile. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Approach the defendant as hostile. All right,
That's not an answer.
Let's move on.
I saw the answer. How did you reach level 239?
Oh, I did the bird farm. My Twitch chat put me onto it.
How long did you do the bird farm for?
Oh, I'm not gonna lie. There was a day. It was like a Saturday. I put a podcast on. I did it for maybe 4 hours or something like that.
4 hours. Okay. Do you know on average how many runes it takes for you to reach 239?
If I cared, I wouldn't have did the farm.
Well, you should care because the number doesn't match what you described.
Oh, hold on. We need a judge here. We need someone to oversee the proceedings. Answer the question, Black Hokage, please.
Thank you, Judge Golden Boy.
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, so I think on average with the bird, you get around. Correct me if I'm wrong, JG. Is it around 3 million, 4 million runes per hour? That's correct.
Yeah. So if the bird is approximately 11,000 runes.
So you're getting about 3 million an hour. So you said you grind this for what, 4 hours? You said
it might have been longer. I don't know. I don't remember.
Definitely was a little bit longer. Do you know how long it takes? How many runes it takes to reach level 239?
Nope.
JG, do you have the number in front of you? I think it was it not 34 million? I believe it was. Am I correct on that number, or is it?
Yeah, it was around 33 million.
33 million. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but this would definitely have taken you more than 4 hours, correct?
Sure.
Yeah. So what we're trying to understand is, you state before that you don't like your chat, correct? Like you don't listen to them. They troll you.
Whoa.
Correct.
I didn't like.
I think we objection.
Come on now. I don't like the idiots in the chat. Don't say the chat.
Okay,
don't put that on my
how many people are idiots in the chat? Because
including you two, at least two. But go ahead.
Okay.
Whoa.
Okay.
Okay, all right. The defendant's a little hostile here.
Right,
the defendant's a little hostile.
How many times have you said, Mr. TBH, that you don't listen to the chat because they give you bad advice and you never will listen to them? How many times have you said that?
Oh, I say it all the time.
All the time. So what made you believe you listened to them to grind a doggy for over 11 hours?
Well, first of all, we all know that I'm a hypocrite. I say this all the time.
Okay, that's all. That's all.
Yeah, exactly. I say that all the time. I say that all the time.
We got it already. All right, so you're a hypocrite. Okay, we already got that.
Yeah, well, I hope that's not your defense because I say that all the time.
A hypocrite. Okay, so we already got number 1 down. TBH is in fact a hypocrite. All right, so you admit you lie and that you're a hypocrite.
I openly say that. I hope that's not the case.
So you are a hypocrite. So that means you're also a hypocrite when you say you are a master gamer.
No.
No.
You by definition cannot be a master gamer.
Oh, sure.
I'd like to bring you to Exhibit B. I believe we have a victim by the name of Ace of All Trades. TBH, can you recall the events of about April of last year when Ace attempted to beat Ishin from the game Sekiro, also a From Software game?
Yeah, it took him 14 hours to beat it on stream.
And do you recall what you said about the said victim when it took him 14 hours to beat that said person on stream?
No, but I'm pretty sure it was something slanderous for the simple fact that I love to cause anarchy.
Okay, we don't care about that. Mr. JG, can you please, for the court, remind everybody what he said about Ace?
I mean, he said, like, first of all, he's like, how did you even find the time to do that, right? Clown him for spending 14 hours on one boss, streaming it, right? And then continue to slander him. And say that,
for more than just the period. I think it was like that next year on, he kept bringing up that Ace was trash, right? For
it's a good thing I've always said I was a hypocrite, huh?
Yeah. I'm just bringing up the point.
This is a terrible defense.
No, so the point which I make is that you're not a master gamer because you objectively you said to yourself that Ace wasn't good because he couldn't beat Ishin, and thus by the property of that, by that admission, then you by that admission are worse than Ace.
All right, $1 tier.
So you agree you are not a master gamer?
Sure.
Which is what we're bringing the case to you as.
We'll go with that narrative.
So you're just ready to go down to $1? You just say that
you're willing to go with our
Oh, was that y'all actually arguing? Y'all wanted to drop me to $1?
We're asking you. We're asking you.
Oh, no. Well, I'm letting you guys know I accept wherever you put me. It doesn't offend me where you think that my gamer skills rank.
Sure.
Because at the end of the day, you guys are going to put me on trial, but when it push comes to shove, if we boot up Apex, you'll call me before Ace. So that's all that matters.
No, not true.
Oh, interesting.
I think at this point, I would rather call someone who's in the $3 tier
than
someone who's in the $1.
Also, is that the argument? You guys are putting me in the $2 tier?
We put you probably wherever, under 3 at least.
Oh, make up your mind. Where am I at?
You might be in the middle, but you yourself just said $1. I wasn't.
We didn't even put you at $1,
but you said that. So
you said $1. So I mean, we're more than happy to put you at $1. If that's
no. I would rather go based off of whatever you guys recommended.
You gave
no. If you two, hold on, wait a minute. Make up your mind. If you insist on the $1 tier, we'll do that. But if you wanted to do the 3, the point I'm trying to make is I'm okay with whatever. I'm at peace, okay, guys? I'm at peace.
Oh no, we were just making a serious inquiry, and you seem to have placed yourself in the $1 tier, so you'll have no disagreements or objections.
Okay, so hold on. All right. Jokes aside, where would you guys like to place me then?
Where would you like to be? Where do you?
This is your guys' case. I need you guys to take the lead on this.
No, we want to hear
trial.
you. You are the defendant, exactly, and we want to hear your take.
Oh, I'm $5. I'm $5 his forever. My mama says so.
Well, you got a gamer skill that only a mother could love, because let me tell you that you are ass. You are ass cheeks. That was the worst display of skill I have ever seen in my life. As a matter of fact, I was embarrassed for you. I know that maybe you've just fallen so low into the level of embarrassment that it doesn't affect you. That's totally cool. For a man that would slander people for using narrative. Google, it's not a narrative. It's just facts. That was embarrassing. It was 16 hours. You banned over 100 people out of your chat within one stream because you were that upset that people were backseating you. I'm not going to lie. I pray to God that no one ever tops this score. I'm terrified to even imagine you playing Sekiro and even getting to Ishin at this point. I think you just shouldn't play another From Software game, or at least stream it. That's just my take.
Fair enough.
JG.
All right, I have some other questions here, sir. So you like to make fun of me and said, I beat Millennial with no summons. I did this with no summons.
Hypocrite. We've already established.
Can you recall when you started trying your summons, your weak ass summons? By the way, level 2, level 3.
Yeah. The chat suggested that I listen to the summons, and it was one of the few times I did listen to the chat. And as you can see, I instantly regret it because it ended up adding time onto the clock because I ended up beating her without summons. So yes, I'm a hypocrite. Next topic.
Okay, all right, we admit that. All right, so and I just wanna know. Let's say if your summons were okay enough. Let's say if you brought out the jellyfish, for example, and then you had your legendary run at around 16 hours. Would you like still beat out your chest and be like, hey, I beat Melania with no summons? Would you admit, hey, I beat Melania with the jellyfish?
No, I would have talked shit regardless. It doesn't matter how I win. I did it.
Okay, all right. I just want to put that on record.
But wouldn't that also apply for Ace as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ace didn't
Yes.
lie.
Well, did Ace beat Melania?
We don't know yet.
We don't know
Yeah,
yet.
that's a good question.
I'm still waiting.
Another investigation.
Just for
Still
the
waiting.
14 hours, just for the 14 hours of him, on that one boss in Sekiro, wouldn't that also apply? Why does Ace deserve to be clowned on, but you cannot be clowned on, sir?
Oh no, they can clown on me. They've been clowning on me all week. The point I'm trying to make. So here's why it's funny to clown on Ace, and this is what they don't understand.
We're not here to talk about
No. Let me, because he asked a question. He asked a question, so let me answer it. Hold on. Ace, Ethos, did you not say that I have to answer the question? He asked a question. Let me answer it. Okay?
I did ask, sustained, overruled, whatever. I don't know. I'm not.
So to me,
go to
the
law
reason
school.
I don't know everybody else's reason, but for me, and it's not even an Ace thing because I don't want Ace taking this personal. I'm just the Joker. I just like to start shit for no fucking reason. And the reality is what makes it funny to clown him is because, and he doesn't do it anymore, at least not as much, but he used to get so mad that we would question his gaming skills.
Hearsay.
Okay.
Hearsay.
Okay.
So
I guess I say sustained.
So this is not going to be fair and balanced because I'm trying to answer the question, guys.
You just spoke hearsay.
All right.
There's no
Anyways, keep going. Keep going.
All right, so we found some other compelling evidence, and I want to ask you, Objective. I know you claim that you don't care on how you build your character or what you're trying to do, but is this true? I just want a yes or no from you. Weren't you touting that you were going to be the assassin mage, correct?
Yeah. Then I found the Moonveil.
That was a lie.
Okay, you found the Moonveil.
You're lying.
All right. Now yes or no? Is the Moonveil attack that you constantly spam during these bosses? Is that a magic move or is that a physical move?
Isn't it both? I don't know. I actually legitimately don't know.
It's magic, but could potentially, if you were super close, also be physical, but mostly magic. So
I'd argue the way I play it's physical.
Did you use the LT?
it's magic.
Yeah, but I'm always close range. I don't
magic.
spam it from a distance.
That's
though.
magic. It scales off of magic.
It's magic.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's why I picked it up in the first place because
You're a
homeless, whatever. I still won.
You're a mage.
All right, next
You're
topic.
Can you explain to the chat why you built your character with 90 intelligence, but you used a pebble throughout the entire fight?
Because I'm the Tim Duncan of Elden Ring. Like, here's the thing, man. Listen, anything that I like the Moonveil, I literally only found it because I was streaming and they were like, yo, you're right next to the cave with the Moonveil. I was like, bet. You're near the cave where the bird farm is. So like, okay, I'm gonna go look for this shit. Bet. But like outside of that, when I'm playing the game by myself, I'm not reading shit, bro. I'm not doing, y'all know how I play games. I'm not reading no manuals. I'm finna press these buttons and do shit mad extraordinary. So if I found a spell, cool, but I never found any cool spells. So I rock with the pebble, baby. And you know what? I embraced it. I said, I'm the Tim Duncan of Elden Ring. And guess what? When I streamed it, people's like, yo, I love that tagline. That shit mad inspirational. Why you call yourself that shit? Because I stick to the basics, bro. I stick to the basics and I still got it done.
All right, so the basics took you 16 hours. So why did it take you so long to listen to the chat? And by hour 8, because you said that you finally listened to the chat at hour 8. Why did hour 8? Why was using summons the one that you finally listened to over the people, including myself, that said, hey, why don't you take out that weak ass pebble because it's not doing anything but just tickling Melania, and just use another sword or any other weapon at that in your left hand so that you could possibly do some more damage.
Old habits die hard. I've been using the pebble the entire game. So by the time I got to Melania, it was hard for me to stop using her and then using it. So it got to the point where I was like, all right, I'm just gonna have to go straight up sword with her. So like that was just my fault.
You're being hard-headed.
Yeah, I was being hard-headed.
Okay, so hypocrite, hard-headed. Okay, this is giving us.
So hard-headed for 16 hours. I'm just trying to see the correlation there.
Where does your mentality come from to be hard-headed and to literally get upset?
Well, here's the difference between when you guys play the game and when I play it. See,
sure.
I have hundreds, sometimes thousands of people watching me play the game. And like, and that night, it was like 1,500 people in there watching me at like 3 a.m.
Off of a raid.
No, well, hold on. But hold on. Wait, Ethos.
I was there the whole time.
Wait. I had 700 by myself. Then she raided me.
Off of a raid. You said 1,500.
But let me finish my point. I had 700 by myself. She raided. Okay, Trisha raided me. But she raided me at like 5, 6. I held those viewers till 3 a.m. is the point. So you can't say, oh, that's a raid. That was me too. Next point. Yeah.
So
I'm sorry, you said it was
Yeah, Trisha was a birdie. She raided me.
So you were addicted to the numbers.
No. That's not what I was getting. That's not what I was getting. Let me finish my point. Because Ethos. Hold on. Yeah, because Ethos keeps interjecting my point. The point I was trying to make is you're trying to make it seem like it wasn't just because I was entertaining. It was also she raided me, but it was also because I was entertaining. But the point also is, I'm tired. I totally.
Objection, Your Honor. Objection, Foundation. Hokage even said that it wasn't a good time to raid him. I could have swore he said that because he said he was not having.
No, I said after she raided me, it's not a good time to troll in the chat. And shout out to the community because anybody who was in there could back me up. They were mad cool. They was like, oh, we totally get it. Like they weren't trolling me. That's what I said. I didn't say it was not a good time to raid.
You banned over 100 people that night.
I don't think that was her audience. At a certain point, people come and go, and new people come in because it was a lot of first time chatters writing bullshit in there, bro. Like I don't know. There's no way.
So your usual audience.
No, I don't think I banned any regulars. It wasn't names that I recognized. What's the name? What was the original question? Because I lost my train of thought. I'm tired.
Well, we were talking about why did you choose to finally listen to the chat when they were speaking about summons, using a summon rather than the people who were legit telling you, hey, like use another weapon or use a weapon in your left hand.
That's what I was gonna say. That's the difference.
Why are you so hard-headed to spend 16 hours and just stick to your guns?
That's the difference. Okay, I was gonna say the difference is like I got thousands of people watching me, and more than half the chat is preying on my downfall. So it's hard to trust the chat who to listen to. And then the one time I do listen, I'm not sure. I listen, and then I fucking die. It adds time onto the clock. So it's like, all right, I'm just gonna be hard-headed and do whatever the fuck I want because you don't know who. That's the difference. When I play, my back's against the wall. It's the fourth quarter, bro. And you know what? I came out like fucking old boy from the Celtics, Paul Pierce. I came out in the fucking wheelchair and I stood up and I slayed that bitch.
I see more hypocrisy here because you literally just stated before you listened to the chat to get your bird spot, but now all of a sudden you don't want to listen to them again once they start giving you more.
Why do you keep bringing up the hypocrite stuff? We already established that I'm a hypocrite.
No, I'm just trying to establish why you didn't listen to them beforehand, but you listened to them literally a minute ago. But then later on, you know the pattern, right? Like if you
because I be trying to include the community, I really do be trying to listen to people. It's just sometimes I don't know when to trust, when to not. So then it's like then I become hard. Let's just say this is a thing that's completely different from my stream. Y'all's is relaxed. They rooting for you. They hoping it. They praying on my downfall. They praying on my downfall.
But TBH, if I could just interject here, why do you think they are praying for your downfall?
Because, bruh, I'm that pretty motherfucker, bruh. You see me, bruh. I'm about to be 32 years old. My skin is flawless, bruh. I get all the hoes. Bruh, you see what I'm driving. You see what I'm whipping. I'm pulling a fucking foreign and shit, bruh. I'm pulling up. I'm skirting. So when I do that shit, like people get mad, and I'm just living my life, truthfully.
A foreign.
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
It was. Look, listen. It may be manufactured in America. Listen, hold on. It may be manufactured in America, but the creator, he's from South Africa, so technically it's foreign.
Absolutely not, sir. Absolutely not.
That is not the
definition. If it's built in America, it's an American company.
Praying on my downfall.
This man is running his mouth. It's okay.
Also, Elon didn't make the Tesla. He bought the company because he can't make a damn thing for himself. So.
Y'all hating. Next.
All right, here's another compelling piece of evidence. And we got this actually after you beat Melania. Can you explain to the audience here how you got to Farum Azula, which is where you find Meliket? How did you
get there? The tornado area?
Yes.
I answered that question when we were streaming. I used one of them imbued keys or whatever. I ran up a hill. And then I seen those little gate things or whatever, and it said use the key. So then I used it and I went through the portal.
Okay. Now, do you know that portal does not actually take you to Farum Azula? It takes you to a small piece where you physically cannot get to the rest of the map unless you glitch.
I didn't glitch. I didn't do anything. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know how I got there. That's at least how I thought I got it. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know.
Oh man.
I knew that was coming. I knew it was coming. Man. I knew it was coming. But when we saw that,
I didn't use. I did. I'm all for the jokes, but hold on. I did as did not use any glitches, bro. I did not use any fucking.
How do we
glitches.
know?
How do you not know?
How do we know? Prove it.
I've sat up here and said I'm a hypocrite, bro. Why would I lie about that?
So you're saying
Did you do this off stream or on stream?
Yeah.
That was off stream, I believe.
You might want to plead the fifth here.
Yeah, whatever. I'm sure. Whatever. I glitched. Let's go with that. Let's go with that narrative if you want to push that.
It's okay. So did you glitch, without just knowing anything, or did you search for it? Did it come up on your TikTok algorithm?
No, I didn't search anything. I didn't use any. I'm being dead serious. I didn't use any glitch.
Are you a fan of Google?
JG is.
Are you? No, that doesn't matter about JG. We're talking about you. Are you a fan of Google?
No, I use Bing.
So you don't Google.
Well, no.
You never use Google. You never a Google person.
No.
All right, then can you please describe to me how we're watching or reviewing these GI podcast notes on? Can you please tell me what you were reviewing this on?
We're using Google Docs.
You don't see the correlation there?
What's your favorite feature about Bing?
You guys are my favorite.
Yeah, what's your favorite?
It brings rare pictures up that are not available on Google.
Do you say you use Bing a lot on your Samsung phone?
Did you just accuse me of having an Android?
Yes, because don't you have a sponsorship?
Not anymore. I don't know what you're talking about.
So there's no Samsung sponsorship. There's no period of time you had an Android.
That did expire. Hey, no free promo. What are you doing?
You have no period of time where you had an Android phone at all.
Nope.
Is that what you're trying to tell the court today? Not once did you have to use an Android phone at all?
Nope.
This is stop becoming about Elden Ring.
Nope.
Just making sure.
All right, so final question before we get to we'll get to the defamation case later, but I have this question about Ace of All Trades. So since you officially took longer to fight one boss, and on stream, by the way, since it took you longer to fight one boss, would you say that's something to brag about? Do you say that's one of the highest points in your gaming career, or is that one of the lowest points in your gaming career?
Truthfully, I'm kind of indifferent about it. I was ready to just be over about it, but if you guys want me to be 100% honest, I'm not embarrassed about it. I know you guys really want me to be, but I'm being 100% honest. I am not embarrassed, but I legitimately don't care. So I don't know. I'm kind of indifferent about it.
So would you admit that at this point, since it took you longer,
was it? Well, I'll say this: was it a great performance? Absolutely not. But am I embarrassed about it? No, I'm not going to let you guys push that narrative on me.
You have to be embarrassed about it. We were embarrassed for you. It's okay. We were embarrassed for you because you're a representation of us. You know how that goes.
You embarrassed
a representation of Game Illuminaughty.
Yeah, and you disgraced the brand that day.
Fair enough.
You should reflect on those choices.
Ace did embarrass us, so can you admit from this point on, since it took you longer, that you will never ever make fun of Ace for his gaming takes ever again?
No, why would I do that?
I think
that goes against.
You're going to get some. Ace will see you in court.
That goes against everything that I am. I'm the Joker, bruh. I have to cause
Joker
chaos.
is not a legal argument. The Joker is not a legal argument, sir.
Okay. Are you guys?
Unless you're claiming you're crazy, you're insane. Are you claiming insanity?
Yep.
Someone did bring up something quite interesting, though. You said that you don't care, but you cared enough to play for 16 hours.
Oh yeah. Hold on. When I say I don't care what they think. Stop. I wanted to beat it. I'm saying, I wanted to.
I would like to thank a homeless girl for that one. Thank you so much.
No. Yeah, I wanted to beat it. When I say I don't care, I'm talking about I don't care what everybody thinks about how long it took me to beat it. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Overall, 16 hours a day.
Hold on.
What does someone do during 16 hours in a day?
You said what?
What does someone typically do in 16 hours of a 24-hour day?
On average, what a person?
Oh, they go to work. It just and also that was like the one day I had out of the week. I had that day off. That was the only reason I was able to pull that off. If it was any other day, I would have been gone off the game.
I will quote witnesses that were watching you. They dead ass went to work, came home, said hello to their wives, had food, made food, sat down, booted up Twitch, and still saw you struggling with the boss they saw the morning of before they left for work. Do you understand how crazy that is?
Yes.
You don't think you owe these people an apology for that?
Why would I apologize?
Nobody
forced them to watch.
For 16 hours.
Nobody forced them to watch.
You said they were praying for downfall, but they were there trying to support you.
Yeah, some of them were. That's why I said don't put that all in the chat, body. Yo, you guys are really trying to push a narrative here. For the people, so I'm not gonna apologize, but for the people that were watching for 16 hours and they felt offended, just make sure you hit the like button, all the GI videos, as well as the G4 channel. You guys got a lot of time to watch, so make sure you watching the content and hitting the like button. That's what I'll say.
I think this is enough to close the case. That
really whoa, no, because remember at the top of the trial, I stated, I'm going to let you guys get your points off. I'm going to try to answer the questions to the best of my ability. And then after that, I was going to speak. So are you guys finished?
We're not picking you up as a witness.
That doesn't matter. That's not how a case works, Ethos.
That is how.
This is a hanging. Then this is a hanging. It's not a case. It's not a case.
I'm not
hold on. You actually have something. You actually have something relevant to say without.
Is this a case or hold on? Let's establish that first because wait. Let's establish this first and foremost because all we
wanted to.
Oh, so it's a case. Which one is it, Ethos? Which one is it?
As an impartial judge, I'm just gonna say this is a case, and the defendant has to, share their case.
We were trying to bring
fair and balanced. Fair and balanced.
Fine. We proven our points. You're a hypocrite. So
all right, I let you guys talk. Let me get my points off. I'm not trying to argue with you guys. If I want you guys to answer something, I will. But I'm gonna get some points off. Okay. Opening line to my defense. This whole Millennia situation was a social experiment to prove 2 points. None of this honestly was about me. I wanted to see how I could live in people's heads rent free, okay? But also I did this to show people that resolve, it really matters in life. I received so many tweets, so many IG DMs, emails, and messages via carrier pigeon from fans across the multiverse saying I inspired them to keep going. I showed them never give up, and if you ask me, that's the job of the Hokage, to inspire his village. Right or wrong?
Incorrect.
This is not inspiration.
Am I understanding that your case is that this is what you wanted to do this whole time?
I'm a YouTuber. I was doing a social experiment. Now, next point. This is for JG.
Objection.
Next
okay.
point. JG, answer this. Y'all make fun of Ace for spending 14 hours on that final boss in Sekiro, but JG, you never even beat the final boss in Sekiro. Didn't you get that alternate ending where you didn't have to fight the final boss? And also, JG, not only did you not beat the final boss, you Googled how to beat the first section of Sekiro, so I could argue your entire playthrough was fake. Care to answer that?
Incorrect.
You fought the final boss.
That was just a lie that was spawned by you, actually.
You fought the final boss.
That was just a lie spawned by you, actually.
Okay. Is there footage?
This is entirely how the Google situation started.
Because you said you Googled
I Googled tips for the game, and I watched the first 15 minutes, which everybody does. Everybody watches the first 15 minutes, 20 minutes of a game, right? In order to find out what's going on in the game. Okay. All right, we do.
Objection.
All right. Okay.
Objection, Your Honor.
All right. Okay.
I have evidence, Honor. See, I thought this would happen, Your Honor. I'd like to put into evidence exhibit number B. There was a whole video that was done questioning JG on if he did cheat in Sekiro, and the result was that he did not cheat, and he was.
You just
guilty.
admitted you watched the first 15 minutes, and then the first 15 minutes you fight that big ass troll.
Sekiro. He was not. This was in fact a opposite. This was just TBH trying to push a propaganda. Trying to
the plaintiffs are getting a little shaky.
I have also said plenty of times that I can watch whatever that I can watch, but if I'm not good at it, then it doesn't matter. So that shows that if I watch something and I can properly use that in my own gaming skills to beat a boss, then that means that I'm good.
If I may, it was brought to the attention of the court that you did do a glitch, whether or not it was to your knowledge or not, right? So by the logic that you're operating with here, because you tried to accuse someone of cheating and it was proven that they did not cheat, but how can we prove that you did not cheat? TBH.
I'm a man of my word. You just got to take my word for it.
But we have to take your word.
Hold on. I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example. Wait. I'll give you an example. Anybody who was in my stream the other day, my game was glitching. That was one of the reasons why it took me so long to beat that damn dragon boss. My game be glitching. So if a glitch did happen, it wasn't my fault. I wouldn't have known that it did something. I didn't do that.
I find it very interesting that TBH always has these glitches.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
Y'all are
Body
really
glitches
pushing this false
do
narrative
appear.
on
TBH
me.
lives in a
Anyways.
glitch realm, huh?
Yeah.
Next is
must
for
have been
Ethos.
glitch
Next is for Ethos.
Sure, go ahead.
A couple podcasts ago, I mentioned how I was further along than Ethos in Elden Ring. I had slayed far more monsters. This made him so mad that he actually ended up finishing the game. Therefore, I could argue I inspired you to be better, and anything you say against me is invalid because I'm your hero. I'm the reason that you became a better man. What do you have to say about that?
Objection. First, I don't care about anything you have to say about me. Second of all,
That's not what you said on the podcast.
That's not what I said. I said you tried to, again, push a false narrative that was the reasoning, but I told you literally I was busy working on Samurai Zero, so I didn't have the time, and that now I had time, so I would beat it. And I still beat it faster than you, so not a good argument. You kind of make yourself look worse as it is. I beat Melania in under 2 hours. The only boss that gave me problems was Godfrey, which really pissed me off, and you have not yet beat the game, so we're still waiting for you to beat the game.
I haven't had the time. Next.
So you can use that excuse. Got it.
Wait a minute. Wait.
Absolutely.
Objection. You had 16 hours to be Melania, so no.
16 hours
we are not going to accept
Yeah, I told you that day I had that day off. I said that.
We are not going
That
to
doesn't
accept
happen
it. I
often.
bet you can find another
Here
16
we go.
hours.
We like to bring our witness, Golden Boy.
I ran into a wall that day. Big whoop.
we like to bring our witness, Golden Boy, to the stand. Golden Boy, do you promise to say the truth, the whole truth?
I tell nothing but the truth.
Oh, okay, good. Unlike this hypocrite. Question for you, Golden Boy.
Yes, sir.
How many days does TBH come in to do stuff for G4? Or how many times do you see him normally around the office, would you say?
It depends.
So it's not like a set schedule.
This question is irrelevant because we have different schedules.
No, I think no. If you understand where I'm
me and Corey both do X Play now. So me and TBH do X Play on Tuesdays. We are present for meetings but although he does take a significant amount of meetings that I've been a part of remotely, and usually I'm in studio and he would be there remotely. He comes in though. I'm not saying he doesn't come in. He comes in a fair amount.
I'm also in a lot of videos that he's not in too.
Sure. That's totally fine.
This is true. And look, I'm going to give TBH the benefit of the doubt here because, when it comes down to like the X-Play raps and stuff, they're in there for a while. So,
Right. Sure. That's fine. But that's usually that's not every day of the week, correct? He's not there.
The only days that like I can say that are a little bit more lenient. Sometimes Thursday, that's a hit or miss, but usually Fridays for me.
Do you want to plug the show really quick?
Oh, it's X Play every Tuesday on the G4 channel. Thank you so much.
Okay, so you'd say for the most part he doesn't work 7 days a week, but I'm not going to target his work ethic here because no one would. He's of course a very hardworking man, correct? Yeah, for the days that he does.
Of course.
There are days that he does have off, correct? You would say that he does have days, so he's just not.
Oh yes, I most certainly will say he has days off.
I just wanted to establish that. Okay, so if there are days that you have off, what's going on, man?
The game wasn't the priority. I have other things I have to do. I have prior obligations. Like my Alienware sponsorship, I had to produce the content for that, bro.
Sure, and you couldn't play Elden Ring with the Alienware sponsorship?
No.
Why not? Don't you have to show the power?
No, because it's not playing the game. It's not playing the game.
What is it?
It's taking pictures. It's editing videos. The stream highlights. Like, what are you talking about, bro?
Yeah. Editing videos. Don't you have an editor?
Yeah, but I don't edit. He doesn't edit everything because it's a 2-day turnaround. So some things I still have to do myself.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
you didn't know that.
All this, but you just couldn't find the time to play Elden Ring for an hour? But 16 hours you were able to?
Yeah, because that was my day off. We've been over this.
This is your day off, but you don't have any other days off, even though we've established that you do?
Next topic. You're reaching on this one.
Wait, hold on. Okay.
Let's see.
I'll let it.
But here's the thing: if he is reaching here, isn't it a reach to make your entire defense that you're a hypocrite?
Yes.
No, because it saves me from everything. Everything's hypocritical.
But that no.
That makes you guilty.
Yeah, like if a person was accused of stealing something and then showed up and just be like, I don't care. Yeah. They're still gonna go to jail.
They're still guilty.
They're still guilty. Well, maybe not jail, hopefully, but anyway, they're still guilty. Honestly, if they look like any of us are probably going to jail. So anyway, chances are, I hope not. One would hope. So that being said, a hypocrite is not a valid defense. TBH.
You can always plead insanity.
No, I'm not going to plead that. I'm going to keep going with my case because this is irrelevant.
All right.
My next point.
Do you have anything else defense?
Yeah. My next point, because this man's really harping on the time thing.
Go ahead.
I defeated Melania after the patch came out. So we fought somebody completely different. There was a 13 gigabyte patch that happened that day, and it increased the speed of her, making her harder than the version that you guys fought. Okay, so what you guys say is irrelevant because we didn't have the same experience. To add insult to injury, JG just cosplayed as Nomad when you zone the opponent, so your opinion furthermore is irrelevant because all you do is throw crack rocks.
So
Next topic.
objection on that point simply because, for the honest point, you played through the game at a different time we did, and on top of that, you went through bosses when they were nerfed. When me and JG had to fight them when they were not.
But that's not what the conversation's about.
But that argument, your argument falls apart right off of there, because I could just simply say that your entire playthrough was easy.
And if I may jump in, there has been some new evidence presented from the court. You are a person who claims that you do not care. This is correct.
Well, I'm just arguing at this point. I actually don't care.
You do not care, but you care enough to know what's in the patch notes.
Well, hold on. To be fair, and anybody can back me up. Anybody can back me up. I did not actually read the patch notes until yesterday, and the reason being is because somebody in my Twitch chat told me when I was fighting her that they actually made her harder. That's the only reason I knew. So I actually made, because I didn't want to put that in my defense unless I did the research. And if you look it up, they did. They made her harder. But that's the only reason I knew is because of the Twitch chat.
Okay, so objections to that. First of all, I am a mage. What is a mage supposed to do? What is a mage's job? Golden Boy, can you answer that?
It does magic stuff.
And am I supposed to run in, as a mage and just, hit someone with my staff?
No, you're kiting typically. You're supposed to be using your ranged abilities to your advantage. You're not supposed to be in the trenches swinging a weapon. No, you're correct.
All right, thank you. And also, if the chat, any of those can back me up, during the first phase on Millennia, I actually pulled up with 2 swords. What you should have done, actually. I used bleed and I made her bleed out and me and my mimic jumped her, okay? And then in the second phase, I got tired. I was trying to do that same thing and it didn't work. So you know what? I went with the tried and true. This is what I built my character to do. I am a mage, so I use spells. It's not my fault that you didn't find the good spells and I did. Mister, I just run around and find things. Maybe you should have listened to the chat when they told you where some spells were as well. Okay?
Also, I want to, JG, to back that point up, correct me if I'm wrong, but did TBH not say that because Ace was just grinding through the game and not trying to understand the tools of the game, that he would then run into a boss that would require him to understand the tool set and how to adapt to that? And thus, if you didn't, you'd be suffering.
Yes,
you never call that. You never call that.
I know. I'll tell you what I said. I'll tell you what I said. I didn't say he was going to run into a wall. I said that he was going to have a hard time, but I never said he was going to run into a wall.
Siggy on as a witness. Siggy was there. Siggy can back me up on this. You said, and I quote, that Ace was going to run into a wall if all he did was grind, and he would hit a boss like Millennia and would suffer because he didn't learn the tools of the game. Now, would you say that you did exactly what you thought Ace would do? Which is you literally got hard-headed, you didn't use the tools of the game, you didn't learn how the different tools worked, and thus even someone who's at 239, more than double the score of everyone else who beat her, more than double, and you still couldn't beat her.
I'll tell you why I lost. It was because of me being hard-headed. And then also, one of the most fascinating things about this Millennia fight is everybody was making fun of me and everybody was such an expert when it came to beating her. But for some reason, somehow I discovered that you can duck her waterfall thing or whatever. Can I finish my point?
No, you're wrong.
The point being is nobody in the chat seen all these experts in the chat that were trying to help me. Nobody told me that you could duck that shit. It took me a long time to realize that you could do that shit. And yeah, it was because I was being hard-headed or whatever.
Objection. That's Christopher Columbus. That's Christopher Columbus syndrome because TBH said that he discovered it and he most certainly did not discover that.
Well, none of the experts in the chat helped me.
No, and the chat also stated that that had already been discovered.
I didn't see it in the chat. I saw a whole lot of trolling.
Well, you said you didn't trust your chat, so I'm not seeing how that point.
Next topic. We didn't.
All right. Do you have anything else, sir?
Oh, I got plenty. I got plenty. I got plenty
to the original point.
No, I got plenty more. I got plenty more.
Go for it.
We didn't all take the same number of bathroom breaks into consideration, okay? I drink a lot of water, okay? I drink almost a gallon every day. I get up like every 10 minutes. So if you think about it, the amount of time that I spent in the bathroom ate up a lot of the clock. And I did the math. I don't think it adds up to 16 hours. If we count all the times that I went up to go and pee, I think I beat Millennia about an hour and a half.
Objection.
So let me
Y'all see, what is so funny, bro? What is so funny?
So we're in the
Full of
bathroom
shit.
breaks right now. So what you're saying is that you have the bladder of a squirrel.
Yeah, that's actually a
and
joke.
Was basically
They call me baby bladder. Nomad literally calls me baby bladder. Thank you for helping prove my point.
That's not a defense, though.
not a
Yes, it
defense.
is. Yes, it is. I had to pee. Next one.
To go from 16 hours to an hour is insane.
I think you can't do math either.
Next
Okay,
one,
let's-
next one.
Like, are you peeing waterfalls or something? Is that why you're in there?
Yeah.
You might want to
Oh,
consult
yeah.
the doctor. I don't think that's normal.
Yeah, I feel like you need to see a professional for that.
All right, next one. Notice both plaintiffs in this case are Android users. And what does the defendant, aka me, own? An iPhone. So obviously there's a strong case here for jealousy. But to take things further, these two need a web browser link just to FaceTime with me. That would stress me out too if I were an Android user. And because of that,
objection,
no, hold on. Let me
objection.
finish my point. You guys are, I let you guys talk. This is what I'm talking about, bro. If it's going to be the people versus TBH, at least let TBH talk. You two are Android users. You've been stressed out and you've been coming at me crazy, been taking all your frustration out on me. What do you have to say about that?
Objection. Can we? Ethos, can you say that if there's not at least 2 times, I would say maybe 3, even more than that. When TBH says something in the signal, yeah, and his autocorrect like literally says the wrong word, yeah, and he
It would
and I would,
disconnect. He wouldn't have issues with the phone not working. Oh, I didn't get a text. Oh,
his entire phone broke. He had to get another phone recently. Like it seemed like Apple was pretty inconsistent. Wouldn't you think?
Yep, I think so. I don't think that's an argument.
But let's take
It's
things
kind of-
further. What do androids run off of? AI, which is short for artificial intelligence. What uses artificial intelligence? Algorithms, machine learning. all that?
Objection.
Who produces Android?
No foundation.
Google.
No.
Google
No.
does. Therefore, JG and Ethos are cheaters by nature because Google is built on their foundation, making everything they say and do null and void.
Objection. Once again, androids are not built out of AI. This man has no clue what the fuck he's talking
Next.
about.
Yeah, your car,
Yeah,
your
no
Tesla
clue.
is more AI than their phone.
You drive an AI car. bro.
Next one.
I can't believe this man.
Android
Like, your
1.5.
car can actually be driven by AI. You know, I don't
I'm
know.
not done. Next one, Android
Musk
version
could drive his car
1.5.
for
Android version 1.5 was released in 2009. Does anybody in here know what the code name for that was?
Don't care. What was
Code name Cupcake, just like JG's playthrough and Ethos' lack of motivation without me. Next, but let's take things a little further. The latest version of Android is Android 12. And if you look up the code name on Bing, it's called Snow Cone. That's interesting because both of you have been trying to freeze me out of being inducted into the gaming Valhalla ever since the 16-hour stream. Do you think that's a coincidence? I think
You
not.
sound like a conspiracy theorist
think
now.
not.
You probably were there
think
January
not.
at the Capitol at this point.
Is this why you asked me to get you some more aluminum foil so you can
Yeah,
wrap it
he
around
definitely
your...
sound a little cuckoo. I'm not gonna lie. JG, can I wrap this up with one?
No,
final
we're not
question?
done. We're not done.
Oh, I'm
He's
sorry.
still going. Okay, go.
There's
Yeah, go ahead.
exclusive content being produced on some Twitter page called GI 4K TV. I don't know where this shit came from. They made a whole news report on me. I ain't never seen nothing from them before this, which further proves this was a hit piece constructed by the United States government in collaboration with 2 Android users whose battery stays on 10% at all times.
Sure.
Next.
I'm pretty sure your phone dies earlier than ours, but sure. Go
The
ahead.
fact that you two are doing a 2v1, matter of fact, a 3v1 because GV joining on the fun.
I'm not throwing. I'm
He's a
just.
judge.
I'm
He's
a
a judge.
judge,
And got-
and I'm merely just seeing the evidence presented to me. That's it.
And got
That's it.
the whole community rallied against me proves that you both are cheaters. I soloed her for 16 hours and neither one of you chose to solo me, so you both are cheaters. Next, both of you have the Android phone correct. We're going back to that, right? Now what
I have
happened?
not left it.
Now what happened the last time 2 androids attacked? All the Z Warriors died. Gohan lost an arm. Trunks had to time travel, and Perfect Cell was born. Which
What
makes
does
me
this have to
what?
do?
It makes me
Your
Super
Honor,
Saiyan
this man
Gohan 2.
has
Super
lost his
Saiyan
mind.
Gohan 2. The people got my
Definitely
back.
Lost his mind. Your Honor, this man has clearly lost his mind. I don't even know what he's even
But let's
talking
take
about
things
anymore.
further. Let's take things further. I'm not done. I told y'all, y'all can't beat me. Y'all can't beat
to a
me.
wall, a brick wall, Your Honor. I don't know what this man is even talking about.
Now, listen, I had an Android phone like 10 years ago. I used an Android phone like 10 years ago. It was like a Galaxy S2 or something like that. Listen, let me talk. The last Android phone I had was a Galaxy S2. That was like 10 years ago. That means technically it's 3 Android users in this debate. But who's the most kind-hearted one out of all of us? Me, which makes me Android 16. How many hours does it take me to beat this game? This boss? 16. Therefore, I'm a martyr like Android 16.
Hold on. I have to jump in here.
You better not say it, GB.
Did you say that you are kind-hearted?
Absolutely.
In the 1.5 hours that I have been engaged in this conversation, both Ethos and JG were extremely kind-hearted this entire time. They were just presenting evidence, factual evidence that was written down. Evidence that was written down.
It's been false.
And you're
narrative,
over here talking about Dragon Ball Z and Android users.
Let me repeat what I said, okay? 3 Android users. I'm the kind-hearted one, making me 16. How many hours did it take me to beat Millennia? 16. That makes me a martyr. But let's take it a step further because you guys think this is funny. You guys think this is funny. This is real shit. This is real life shit, okay?
This man has lost his mind.
Who knows my birthday?
What is your birthday?
My birthday is August 8th. If you look at the calendar, my birthday falls on 8/8. What is 8 plus 8?
16.
16. I streamed for 16 hours. Therefore, you cannot critique me because it was for me. You cannot talk about what's not for you. That's real shit.
All right. This is full on conspiracy.
And no, hold on. I got one more for you. I got one more for you because you guys think you're so smart. You think you're so smart. The biggest issue I have with this situation is look what happened, man. There used to be a lot of camaraderie in this goddamn podcast. But this is the shit that brother Malcolm X preached against, bruh. The crabs in a bucket mentality. Y'all praying on my downfall. Us going against each other. Black on black podcast crime. That shit not cool.
How did you find a way to fit Dragon Ball Malcolm X into your defense?
This man has
Ladies and gentlemen, I arrest my case. I'm innocent.
All right, so here's my question. Didn't you give Battlefield 2142 a 4 out of 5?
What does that have to do with anything?
That has everything to do with it.
Just like everything you just said. Pointless and makes no sense. All right, that's my case, Your Honor. This man is a hypocrite. We proven this man is a hypocrite, a liar, spent 16 hours, I guess trying to emulate Ace. I don't even know.
Cell's coming back, chat. Cell's coming back.
By far the worst GI member we've ever seen in our lifetime. He's by far the worst gamer I've ever seen in my life. Level 239. Matter of fact, I think if he did an NG+, he'd probably take even longer to beat Millennia. I'm embarrassed for our brand. I think that right now he needs to put on suspension until we get the facts together and figure out the best steps moving forward, because I do not want this man representing our brand at this time. JG?
Yeah, I would have to agree. I was honestly expecting a more compelling defense here, but we got into androids and Dragon Ball Z and Malcolm X.
I don't know. You see the chat? You see the chat? They like, I don't know, bro. He kind of swaying me.
They said that is not bars, bro.
Yeah, and also, I hate to be the guy, but you lost the case when you said you were a hypocrite, man.
You lost it right there, man.
You can't be a hypocrite, then do a glitch, then say, I don't know, then plead the fifth, then accuse someone of cheating, get called, and then that gets completely absolved, and then go back to your defense. You're a hypocrite who doesn't know. This is impossible. Like that's, and then you talked about Malcolm X and Dragon Ball Z. How? It makes no sense.
That's the crazy part. Like, how did this all correlate? That's what I've been trying to wrap my brain around. And when I sat down and I thought about it, I was like, wow, there's really something deeper here at stake. And I mean, look at what they're calling it. Like, they're calling it the people versus TBH. Like, this has never been seen before on any podcast platform before. Like, I'd never had... this is going to be talked about in the
Your Honor, I think that the defendant needs a mental health evaluation at this point. I'm actually kind of worried about my friend. I think that you guys have been overworking him.
Yeah, G4 did this. G4 did. I think we did.
This is not the friend we knew before he left. He has never acted like this. Ever since he went to G4, this man's taking 16 hours to be bosses. He's just acting different. He's talking about conspiracy theories. I want my friend back, bro.
Or maybe it's Cali.
Maybe it's Cali.
Could be the Cali water. Could be the. And again, I live out here. I live out here.
Come back to Florida, friend. Like this is
over there
the
crying,
same you.
friend. Yeah, this is not you, bro. We just want you to be better. This is how kind-hearted we are. We just want our friend back.
Oh my God, I just looked on Bing and it says the water in Cali is 16 times more filtered than the rest of the... Oh my God, what the... It's all making sense. It's all making sense, man.
We just want you to come back, man. We just miss you.
I guess...
All right, so I think we have enough to wrap this up. Judge Golden Boy, how do you plead?
I mean, given that this was literally wrapped up in the first sentence, and I hate to be that guy, you know, TBH, I think... A lot of you, what those things are, I don't know, but I do think things. And I think that I have to go with Ethos and JG here. They presented evidence. You used the glitch. You said you didn't know. You said you didn't care. You said you were a hypocrite. The evidence was just too compelling. So I'm sorry, my friend. You're going to jail?
No, sorry. So here's what's going to happen.
You're going to jail. You're going to jail.
Whatever jail is, you know.
Yeah, here's what's going to happen and I appreciate that the people have won. This is the fair case. This is what should have been done after that. It was a heinous war crime, and I think this is the proper verdict for this situation. So here's what we're gonna do. This is TBH's punishment. We found, and this is a shocking development, honestly. Shocking development. We found out that our friend has gone crazy, apparently from the Cali water, but whatever it is, it compelled him to take 16 hours on one boss, and that boss would literally live in rent-free in his head for the entire 16 hours. And this is how we came up with this. So, okay. So we are going to definitely give him a psychological evaluation. And we are going to confer with our fellow GI members, and we are going to decide which place that he falls in a new tier list, because we will be officially using Elden Ring as a metric, because we use Apex mainly as a metric in previous tier lists. We are going to use Elden Ring in this metric because this is ridiculous. So TBH will be getting demoted, and we will confer, and we will figure out where he will be going. But TBH at this point will no longer be a $5 tier. And wherever he goes, he said he will accept it. So that is what it is. We will reevaluate within 6 months.
God bless.
Let this all be a lesson. I was a martyr, everybody. I was a martyr. They prayed on my downfall.
Talking about Dragon Ball Malcolm X, bro.
I ain't gonna hold you. That's the realest shit I ever said. That's the realest shit I ever said.
This gonna be a good thumbnail. Whoever has a thumbnail this, make sure to add all those people.
It's gonna be a good.
Every single person he brought
every member of the Android.
That's just
Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. Malcolm X.
Androids. Dragon Ball Z, yes.
You know, paint my face on one of the androids.
I could never fuck with you. Never.
We don't need to. You're locked up.
Yeah. You know, bro. You straight jacket after this, man.
Yeah, you straight jacket.
I'm a fucking legend, boy. I know you're enjoying the show, but we have to take a quick break to let everyone know that today's show is possible thanks to our sponsor, Zavvi. Zavvi is the premier platform for all your nerdy needs. They have exclusive clothing collections, Blu-ray steelbooks, pops, posters, vinyls, and so much more. They print an exclusive magazine called The Lowdown Now that does deep dives into pop culture for all you pop culture lovers. During the month of May, Zavvi will be releasing an issue on Doctor Strange in celebration of the Multiverse of Madness film. It also features in-depth looks at the upcoming During the month of May, Zavvi will be releasing an issue of Doctor Strange During the month of May, Zavvi were releasing an issue on Doctor Strange in celebration of the Multiverse of Madness film. It also features in-depth looks at the upcoming Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi series, Lightyear, Horror Dashcam, and so much more. Take a look at all these awesome exclusive clothing on Zavvi.com. And the best part is their products are very affordable. So if you're balling on a budget, Zavvi is your best friend. And since they're a sponsor of the show, our viewers get a special promo code. Use code GI Podcast at checkout and you'll get 20% off of all their clothes and 10% off of everything else site-wide. I repeat, use code GI Podcast at checkout and you'll get 20% off all their clothes and 10% off of everything else on Zavvi.com. Now back to the show. Whatever. Let's talk about this fucking news. So since the last podcast, Modern Warfare 2 was revealed. It was just a logo. Logo was pretty creative, the way they put the 2 in between the M and the W. I got initially excited because I thought it was going to be like a remake or like a remaster of Modern Warfare 2 from, you know, our childhood 360 era. But after further confirmation, this is actually Modern Warfare 2, as in the direct sequel from Modern Warfare in 2019. I didn't really like that game, mainly because it blue screened my PC, and also it was just kind of meh. How you feeling about this, Jay?
So the confusion continues, right? Like, this is going back to, you know, what the casual fan will see. Like, just imagine they go into a GameStop. I don't even know who goes into a GameStop these days. And they're like, hey, I want Modern Warfare 2. They're like, oh yeah, you talking about the new one? It's not out. You're like, no, what? What do you mean it's not out yet? They're like, okay. This is not the same one we're talking about. It's the same game. It's called the same thing, but it's not the same game. This is officially just getting way too confusing. Of course, we know that this is going to be a new Modern Warfare 2, but, you know, just like what you just said, TBH, like, you thought that this was going to be like an actual remake of Modern Warfare 2, and it's not. So I'm just like, what the heck? I'm just going to say I'm not falling for this anymore. Like, I really tried with Modern Warfare, and it just turned out to be a mess, and we all stopped playing it. You just mentioned that your game crashed, your entire computer was having issues. I know that Black was saying that when he was playing the game, that that's an entire hard drive ended up getting fried. Basically, like, everything got wiped. Like, I just don't want to have to deal with any of this mess anymore, and I'm not buying what Activision is trying to sell. I don't care what they do. Like, I just don't want any parts of Call of Duty as a whole at this point. Like, they try to drag us back in, and I'm not falling for it. I think I'm done at this point. So I'll look at it. I may play the alpha or beta or whatever, but I'm not spending $60. I know that for a fact. I'm definitely not spending $60 on this.
Yeah, what do you think about this for the esports realm, GB?
Well, what I think is funny is I tweeted that this was super confusing, and then people in the replies were like, no, this is a remake of Modern Warfare 2. And then there were other people who was responding to those saying, no, this is a completely different game. And that just cracked me up, because it was like, just the naming convention, like you said, it goes back to the Overwatch thing. Just Activision Blizzard has no idea what they're doing right now, and they're really trying. Their marketing department's screwing up in all sorts of ways. Honestly, when it really boils down to, like, you know, the esports side of things, I really don't think that, you know, Call of Duty is going to sit in its little nest in the corner. And as long as it continues to remain on YouTube, like, I really don't see it growing to like a huge tier 1 esport. I think it will continue to remain around 50 to 70,000 viewers, and then when Optic plays, it'll get bumped up to 100. I think what I'm curious is whether or not, you know, like, notable players like Scump and Clayster, like, if they retire, because if they do, because they've been playing the game since Black Ops 1 when I was competing. So if they retire and they're like some of the most popular personalities, I really don't know if the current crop of players in Call of Duty, like the pros, have like the brand to maintain the viewership. So yeah, I mean, you know, and also, like, the recent future CODs have not been very good. Like, they changed the map layouts completely. They had way more nooks and crannies and areas to hide. It ruined the flow of the game completely, adding like a million different attachments for weapons. So yeah, I mean, my career actually started with Call of Duty. I was a Call of Duty caster for years, and now I just can't even, like, go back and play the game because I'm just, like, not even interested in it anymore.
Yeah, I feel like this game just needs to take a break, man. They reported like low sales with Vanguard. They blamed it on World War II, but I think it's just fatigue. It's one of those things. It's like, it's survived. People don't realize it survived 3 different eras at this point, because the original one came out like in 01, I think, on PC. Then, like, it got popping in the 360 PS3 era, and then you survived the PS4 era, and then here it is again. It's like, I think it's not much you can do. It's one of those things, like, people got to understand that, like, you can be a victim of your own success if you don't innovate. Where, like, you know, what was once hot, like, I always use Lil Wayne as like an example. Like, in my opinion, I don't think he really changed that much. I think people just got tired of him. Like, I never was like that big of a fan of him, because his music, like, he would just spit bars, but like none of it really made sense. It was just a bunch of similes and metaphors. But then, you know, as time went on, people were like, we're kind of over this. And I was like, he was always doing that. Like, now y'all hate him all of a sudden. And it's just a case I think people are tired of. I think the only way for people to rejuvenate the excitement for Call of Duty is just go away for 2 years. It worked for Assassin's Creed, although they fucking up again. But I think that's the only way. Or, Activision could just make a new game, but that's too much. I don't really care. Unless I get this for free, I ain't playing it. What about you, Ethos?
I don't care.
Hey, I respect that.
I don't
Hey,
care.
simple enough.
I don't care.
We gotta have more opinions like that in the industry, where it's just like you don't gotta have something in depth. I don't care. Like,
I ain't care. I ain't got nothing for it.
Yeah,
I'll wait till I see more.
Starfield leaks. We don't know how true this is. This is all coming from some random forum, but the user Heavy008, he wrote, I believe these are like on the Bethesda forums or something. Apparently he got early access to the game, or he knows somebody, and he said, it was a cool, solid place to work. Very secure. Oh, so he worked there. The engine is a piece of crap, he said. Todd is a charismatic guy for sure. Starfield is looking good. Weekly Thursday playtest since the beginning of the year. More and more stuff coming online. Shooting feels all right. The flying is terrible at the moment. In my opinion, it's just not fun. Lighting and stuff is looking better and better, though it's not on the level of what does HFW stand for? I forgot. I don't know. Fucking anything like that, but still a good looking game. In terms of it, it will ship on time.
Horizon Forbidden West.
Horizon. Okay, there we go. Will they try? That's for sure. They'll cut it, and then they did, etc. They have an overabundance of content, probably too much, so that's not the issue. Finding the fun, of course. Bug fixing is the big thing. It's a sexy date though, and you only get one of those. Beta is this summer. That's when you get the picture will truly become clear. If this is true, we gotta take this with a grain of salt. We don't know who the fuck this is. If this is true, this is not a good way to sell the game for somebody who worked on it, quote unquote. Saying that the shooting feels all right and the flying's terrible. Where, well, it's a space game. Well, that's gonna be like half the game, So it's like, why would you even write that? Like, if you actually did work on the game, and that's why I kind of question this. Any big Starfield anticipators here?
I'm excited for it, but honestly, it's like it's kind of in the kind of like the way Ethos feels about COD. It's like, when we learn about it, then I'll make more like judgments. But we know how the Bethesda games operate. They're all buggy, broken disasters. That's like literally the brand at this point. But yet everyone plays them. They still make a ton of money, and it's not like. Like, I don't know. I don't feel like there's anything malicious on Bethesda's end. I think it's just they release really huge, ambitious games that take years to make. And they, when it gets down to crunch, there's a lot of stuff that isn't finished. And then, they kind of have to crunch it in. DLC comes out later. And then we end up getting 30 versions of Skyrim, So I'm just looking forward to seeing what the contents of the game would be and like what you're actually doing in the game. But until then, there's not really much for me to kind of like break down. And I am excited for it because I love sci-fi and I'm big into like Star Trek and Star Wars and stuff. But for right now, it's very, very wait and see. Even with this leak, it's still like, I know that there's going to be like a ton of content in the game. Play any Bethesda game, there's always tons of content. Unless it's like 76, which was like an outlier. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I also the bugs thing kind of concerns me too. I'm like, bruh, like.
It's gonna be buggy. It's gonna be buggy. Like, that's just Bethesda's brand, bro. They're always buggy. Every game.
Why do you feel like that their audience accepts that though?
I don't. I wish I could say. It's like I think that what it is that they like the bugs are sometimes like endearing, where they're not, and it's not like Cyberpunk. Right, where like Cyberpunk bugs like legit just get in your way and prevent you from being able to enjoy the game. Whereas like some of the bugs that have been like present in like Skyrim or Morrowind, Oblivion, right? All those games, whenever those bugs are the Fallout series, they'd always just be like funny. Some of them obviously were like bad, but most times they were just like memed and made into like a GIF and then put online, and that was it. So I don't know. I guess it's like just a culture with it. It's really weird.
Okay. What about you, Jay?
I definitely found it hilarious that like one of the first sentences by this person said the engine is a piece of crap though. Like I died laughing because it's like, yeah, we know, we've been saying for the longest that they need to update the engine or just go to a totally new engine because this engine just has not been working. But the fact that he just, totally honest and said it's a piece of crap, like I just died laughing. The other important thing about this was the person saying that there is an overabundance of content. That definitely concerns me because we still have not seen anything about this game. We don't know what it's looking like. We don't know what's the premise of this game. We've seen literally nothing. All we've seen is just dev diaries. And for this person to say, hey, there's an overabundance of content, why are you making so much content but you still have nothing to show yet? So that's definitely concerning. I think that people need to pay attention to that piece of information a lot more than anything else, because we already knew about the engine. I just laughed at that one, but the overabundance of content, that's definitely that puts up a red flag for me personally.
Yeah, the fact that they still haven't shown any gameplay, like, I think it'd be code red if they don't show anything by this summer. If they don't show nothing, I'm gonna be a little worried. I'm like, I don't know. Like, I know they tend to show their game and then roll it out like right afterwards, and that's why I'm gonna give it to like the summer. But they got to show something, because I'm personally tired of talking about this game, and then I'm personally tired of people asking what I think about it, because it's hard to form an opinion on something you haven't seen. So we're gonna see. Apex season 13 drops this Tuesday. New character, new castle. He has a shield. When he picks up people, a lot of people are saying RIP to Lifeline, because he drops a shield and can drag you, and then he can also jump in the air and do like a charging star move like Captain America, and then drop down a shield, kind of sort of like Rampart. And then also there's going to be changes to the Storm Point map. Little changes there. One of the big changes is they're making to rank. They're calling it rank reloaded. So now there's going to be a rookie rank below bronze. Then you got bronze, and then also it's going to be harder to get points. Like kills aren't going to be worth as much, and then also you can be demoted. Do you feel inspired to come back to ranked, Jay?
Maybe, because I do like, minus the being deranked, I still don't play, long enough for that to really, affect me. But I do like the fact that they did finally change, or, make at least give you more RP when, someone else gets a kill, and your teammate get, at least half of the RP that you would get for it, the person who actually got the kill. So I do like that, and I do like there's no cap either. So I feel like that does make it a little bit easier to actually rank up. So, if you do, essentially you could be, carried a lot easier with those changes right there. So I do like that fact. And like I said, I think for the tryhards, like get up to diamond and going from master rank, is definitely going to affect them a lot more with that demotion thing. But like I said, I think that since they finally addressed the point split for someone else getting the kill on your team, I think that'll help. So I may hop back on it. And yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen with Lifeline now. With Newcastle, it's definitely very interesting. I like looking at the moves, and I'm like, wow, like, all right, what's Lifeline going to do now? She's going to sit in the corner and just, not be as effective as Newcastle. That's pretty crazy. Like giving a character, basically the same type of support moveset, but just making it like it just sounds like it's 10 times better. So it's going to be interesting to see how they can properly balance that, because a lot of times every time the new character comes out, they end up being OP. So we shall see. And then I hope that Storm Point I know there's only one POI now that's been added, but I know really a lot of people didn't like Storm Point as much as they were touting when it first came out, including ourselves. We thought it was going to fix the third party problem, but it didn't really fix it. So we'll see. We'll see how Storm Point ends up, but it's still like not one of my favorite maps. So we'll see about that one. But it's looking okay though.
Yeah, I do like that they give more RP for like the team kills on the split or whatever. I just don't like that it says, but the earned RP will be decreased for each kill and will be higher or lower depending on the rank of the opponent that was defeated. Just because I feel like that might cause more of the camping. When you get platinum up, they just start camping, and I'm like, if you're getting even less, then people are really going to be hiding. Like they're really going to be nitpicking about what fights they pick, because you're not getting a lot of points per match. So that's the main thing that I'm worried about. And then who's to say also that, like, yeah, you could be demoted. What if somebody hits Masters and then stops playing? Like, do they get to keep it?
I think there's decay. I think there's a decay at the top.
Let me see.
If you don't play for a while, most ranked games do it, or games that have ranked do that. Where like if you're playing Valorant, you get up to forget the like Radiant level. There's usually like decay after a certain point in time, just so that this way it opens up the pool to those who are an immortal and so on and so forth.
What's the name? How you feel about overall? Are you in Apex, GB?
Yeah, no, I love Apex. I actually used to cast it as well. I used to do ALGS and stuff. I really enjoyed it, and I haven't played it in a while, to be fair, because I like between Halo and my work in Valorant and then the G4 stuff, it's like a game that kind of just like fell to the side. It's almost like Rainbow Six. Like that's another game that I really love to play because it's super fun and it's really enjoyable. But like, you know, I'm really technical and there's a lot of like crap you got to know. But if you don't keep up with it, it's really hard. Thankfully, Apex isn't that bad. But yeah, no, I really dig the game. I'm just glad that like the content's been strong for it. And, you know, I think Apex is just a perfect example of just how to do a live service game right, but B, how to just keep your audience engaged. Because like when they dropped, everyone's like, yeah, this thing's gonna be a flash in the pan. You know, Fortnite's still gonna dominate. And it's like, you know, things are bad when Fortnite had to remove building, the mechanic that like was the core of the game, in order to entice the people who left to go play Apex back to Fortnite. So yeah, I think Apex is doing it right, and they're gonna have a game that goes on for a very long time at this rate.
For sure. Ethos, you've been on it more lately. Is it just because you got the Steam Deck, or are you excited about season 13?
Yeah, it was definitely because of the Steam Deck.
This guy, what a fucking nerd.
I'm gonna play the new one though, because you know I gotta support black people. You know, gotta support the new dude. So I'll be playing it. Yeah, I agree. Fortnite's been kind of, I feel like, falling off a little bit. Nothing crazy. It's still popular, but you know, I feel like Apex has been crowned as like the best BR on the market right now. I think that's pretty indisputable at that point. So yeah, I maybe the rank mode does what it needs to and it evolves everything. Wouldn't surprise me, to be honest with you. Respawn has had a history of basically innovating the entire like FPS space, and then, you know, everyone else copying them afterwards. So I mean, I totally see that happening. I totally can see it.
I actually agree that like Apex, it seems like it's kind of universally agreed across gamers it's the best BR out right now. I just hate that like a lot of content creators, it's almost like it's like Christopher Columbus syndrome. Like they act like they discovered something. I'm like, bro, this shit's always been good. It's like y'all chose to play that bullshit.
I remember when Nick Merck started playing it for the first time, and he's all like, "Oh, this game's so great. Where's it been this whole time?" I was like, "It's literally it's been
out
there
for 3 years.
It's always been great. It's always been great." You know,
I get why people fell off of it, because you remember how like season 1 hit and it was, the battle pass was terrible and stuff like that. So a lot of people fell off of Apex because of that. But it got its stuff together like by like when Crypto came out. By that point, like Crypto's update and everything.
Even still, Octane was a great character. The battle pass wasn't the best in season 1, but the addition of Octane was great. And mechanically, like I don't care about battle passes that much. Like it's about the gameplay.
It was a motivation to play it more and more, right? Because you gotta think of this, like there's a lot of quality of life stuff that has gone into Apex that wasn't there, that people just forgot wasn't in the game. Like there was no challenge system that had like the star stuff. The battle pass wasn't that good. Like the challenges weren't that good.
even from the UI, like you know, like they added auto sprinting. They implemented like a bunch of different sliders for like your aiming, right? Like you have so many more options now than what you had back then. Then again, though, I logged into Fortnite the other day to play no build, and I looked at like the settings, and I was fucking lost. I genuinely was like,
it looks like a mess.
It really does. There's so much crap, and because like there's some things that like are applied to like game bindings, but then kind of sort of apply to video, so it'd be listed under video. It was just so fucking confusing. But yeah, I mean, at least the options are there, you know? That's a good thing.
Yeah, because a lot of people, they played it when it first came out, because obviously it was the shiny thing that like came out of nowhere. So everybody was like, oh, I'm going to try it. But then, you know, people reverted back to whatever they were, like Fortnite or whatever it was. But then I remember I think they said it was when Loba dropped, or when her update dropped, EA had reported and said that they had an astronomical like jump in player base count. And like, I mean, it could have been the horny, but like, yeah, like just the amount of players that came back was massive, and the revenue went up like astronomically high compared to normal. And like, it's since that point, it's just been high every single season since. So They've been
That's
doing
so
a good
funny
job.
you mentioned there, bro. Horny
I think it
lows
was
were definitely
horny.
high when Loba came out,
But
bro.
honestly, it
still are.
probably was the horny dude.
Yeah, the horny did it. They just had to make the horny. They sold it, yeah. And then Apex after that point just been.
So that's what a woman looks like. You know?
Hubba. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
what's
Look at
the
the
name?
chat going crazy. Yep,
Halo was getting a little bit of flack when it first came out. They was talking about how we didn't play the games. Then the show came out. It was kind of getting mixed reviews, although opinions are starting to shift as the show goes on. But Paramount actually announced that Halo is a huge global hit. Paramount Plus saw a major growth last quarter, gaining 6.8 million subscribers. Now at 40 million, Paramount notes Halo is one of the streamers, the platform's biggest series. They grew 148%, made over $500 million. So, I mean, do we think that this is sustainable? Like, you think that people are going to remain subscribed, or was it just kind of the curiosity? They did it for a month and they're going to let go of it. You're the Halo guy, GB.
Yeah, I mean, me and you, we on XSplit, we were like ragging on it quite a bit. And then episode 5 came about. And then I watched episode 5 and I was like, damn, that was good. Like my wife like went back because she's a big Halo fan as well. She went back and watched it again. That was like how good it was. That one sequence in episode, I believe it's episode 5 or 6, where they, where like they have a big fight with the Covenant. But I think like that's kind of the problem with the show. It's that like it thrives when you have the conflict between the UNSC and the Covenant, and like to not that it was like being ignored. It was just there was so much dialogue. But now that I kind of see where this is going, now I'm on board with it. In the beginning, I was like, give it time. Then, episode 3, 4 came around. I was like, all right, nah, this shit's whack. And then episode 5 hit, and I was like, oh, wait a minute, this is pretty solid. And then now it's like getting better. So I think where we're going is we're going to go to the Fall of Reach storyline from Halo Reach.
Hey.
And so it's a version of that. And then season 2 is probably going to be Halo 1. Yeah, Halo Combat Evolved, like that story. I think it's going to end with them on the ring. And we're gonna get introduced to the Flood. We're gonna get like Keys dying. Like there's going to be cool narrative beats from the game that is going to be copied here, just done in a different capacity. So yeah, I'm kind of on board with it now, and I kind of get it. It is. Could someone look at it and be like, oh, it's just a generic sci-fi show? 100%, and they would totally be justified in viewing it that way. But if you kind of just take it as it is, it's a pretty enjoyable show. Like my dad's watching it. My dad knows nothing about Halo and he's liking it. So clearly they're doing something right. It's not like my dad's ever going to pick up a copy of, Halo CE and play that on Master Chief Collection. So I guess it's working.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where it goes. It's just that middle part was just really a drag. But
anything with Quan was just blech, yeah, it's just like her story was just not interesting, like at all.
Do you think that's kind of shifted now?
No, I still think her story's type doo-doo.
Do you think that my take has been like, I see a lot of people wanting to kill her off and kill her entire storyline off, but I think the latest episodes kind of pull that she's obviously going to play a bigger role into like the Forerunners or whatever it is. I think that's like what there seems to be hinting at, or something with the ring, or something in that regard. Maybe the photographers, I don't know, just based off of that last like Avatar like episode that I watched, the most recent one.
Yeah,
so,
it works when they're together. When she's with Chief, it works.
Yeah,
or
she's tied to his storyline. Yeah, then it makes
exactly. When she's off doing her own thing, like I could give a flying rat's ass about Madrigal.
Yeah.
Like I really don't care. I don't care about the dude from Pacific Rim. Like I just don't care. You know what I mean? I just get me to the ring. Let's play some Prometheans. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like when they focused on the whole timeline where like Chief was like starting to recover his memories, that was like, it was at peak. Like it was literally like I was like, okay, yeah, no, this has me like fully engaged. Like when the Covenant girl got was playing incognito and innocent, and then he started touching the artifact and was like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna go for it. Like when that was happening, I was like, okay, yeah, no, this is what it should be, like 24/7. Like this is the good. Like I'm actually engaged. Like I'm actually enjoying it as a sci-fi show, because I'm not a big Halo person. I don't not that crazy about its lore and stuff, but like I was enjoying myself. But I agree, like the Quan stuff, like with her about like, oh, I gotta find the freedom fighters and da da da. I'm like, I don't really care about this unless. But then like that recent one, like then they started to, like she had the dream and then it tied to Chief, and I was like, oh, okay,
yeah.
I was like, okay, so it's not just some little side plot that doesn't matter to the grand scheme. It's like they're gonna tie it into the grand scheme of what I guess reaching the Halo ring or whatever it is. So I'm like, all right, yeah, as long as you keep going with this and you less of this like revolution pit and you tie it closer into Chief getting to the Halo ring, then I'm like, okay, I'm on board with this. But yeah, I agree.
Pretty much.
If they keep the focus on Chief, on Halsey, on Cortana, on like the Covenant and the you know the special people, like as long as they keep doing that, I think yeah, the show is just gonna keep getting better. But if they make new subplots and stuff like that, it's just gonna get boring, and I'm just like, I'm no one.
Yeah,
I agree.
It is what it is, man.
I enjoy it. Yeah, actually enjoy it.
Have you been keeping up with it, Jay? He's gone.
Yeah,
Right.
I totally have.
Yeah, thanks for asking.
Yeah, man.
My bad. I was
Space.
thinking, I have only watched still 3 episodes. I have not caught up on it yet. Had other things to tend to. But getting back to the original article, I mean, it makes sense. It's not surprising that Halo, drove Paramount Plus. It's always that one series that people just run to, and Halo was that one for Paramount Plus because it was another one of those situations that what original content were you all producing on this platform that was going to be like that major one. People weren't flocking over there to watch just South Park and the real world, so there had to be something else. So Halo was the biggest one. I know that Star Trek was also doing very well here. So I mean, in order to sustain, like, period, as far as the platform is concerned, you're going to have to continue to produce these high quality original series. You can't just give us the standard crap, just putting it behind your paywall. And like I said, every one of the streaming services has like 1 or 2 like really major series that people just want to flock to. So if Halo's going to continue what you all are saying that it is, and it makes perfect sense because Halo has a large vast story past what's going on right now, then they continue it, and they had a budget for it, and this ends up on a high note, minus the people who were initially upset at it, and continue on, then I think it'll keep people subscribing to the platform. So we'll see.
I'm glad the show's doing better for them because Halo Infinite keeps taking L's, man. They came out with that Season 2 Battle Pass, and apparently it's glitched. The items are not unlocking, man. Ethos, you were a big fan. Like, how do you feel that you can't get your skins?
I know you didn't just say that.
Yeah.
You got me mixed up with somebody else, bro. I'm not a big fan. So.
No. What about you, G? Like, have you actually tried this Battle Pass?
Yeah, well, there have been a lot of problems with it, and again, it just, it's just, as a Halo fan, it's hard. It's hard to be a Halo fan right now. Not only because the content is coming out at a snail's pace, but also like when it does drop, it has so many problems. There was like an issue with the BR that like the gun would stop shooting, which was like weird, and people were calling it the gun jam, and it was just so odd. Like no one knew what the hell was going on. Just like a lot of crap that kind of just been happening in Halo world that, I think 343 just has to get their office in order. And the problem is like we have months between content, right? And I think that we are going to get a beta or an alpha of this battle royale like within these next few months. But just the fact that it's so long, and they knew that they were making a live service game, so it just like blows my mind that it was this much of a problem, for them to get anything going with it. So yeah, my hope is that it gets better before it gets worse.
They're a great example of it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Because like, it's amazing the 180 that's happened. Because we were at work. Remember when they dropped the game? This motherfucker was excited, bruh. The whole internet was excited when they randomly dropped the game. Now it's just like crickets. And it's like you guys didn't have a roadmap and you didn't properly test the game. And then also, have they added co-op into the story yet?
Oh,
nope.
Sheesh, man. And I wanted this game to do good because I actually really enjoyed it when it first dropped. It just got dry.
We did a Halo tournament for it, man. Really thought this thing was.
Somebody's rooting for it to fail. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, like really wanted to be good, man. And then like the Halo tournament, like a lot of people like from the front end enjoyed it, but they don't know, like, the people I was working with in the back end to get that shit to run, man, it was a headache. It was a headache to get those like private games up and running, and we had crashes too. It was not fun, man. It was very tedious and annoying. So hopefully they get their shit together, man, because it's definitely a good game behind all the BS. There's something good there. They just need to hurry up. Yeah.
Last piece of thing, I took some stuff off the notes because it's getting late. I know this man I gotta go to. Last thing I put on there is Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments, you know, where they play to become the world champion, the king of the games. There's a new section in the rules if you plan to attend a tournament about hygiene, and it says this is a new section requiring all persons attending a tournament to be clean and wearing clean clothing. If your clothing is excessively dirty or you're bad smelling, you can be penalized. As an advocate for, you know, proper hygiene, probably the biggest advocate on the G4 platform, this excites me, man, because like anytime we go to these gaming conventions, motherfuckers be stinking, bro. And like people would think we be like joking, they think it's just Smash tournaments. Like, no, it's a lot of the unfortunate reality is about some like gaming stereotypes. There's some truth to the stereotype. Obviously everybody's not like that, but it's like, bro, I get you love gaming, but why can't you wash your ass before you come to the event, bro? So I'm glad to see that this is not gaming related, it's card game, but this is the right step, okay? It's adjacent, the right step. We need this at PAX. We need this. We don't know if E3 is coming back. They Summer's Games. We need the Summer's Games Fest. We need this at Samurai Zero Con. We need it everywhere.
Oh my god. Can you do me a favor though?
Yeah, what's up?
Can you look at the date of this article though?
Oh yeah.
Wow. Why were people tweeting to me this?
I know.
Wow. Yo,
IGN made a tweet about it, but it was like literally it was before COVID.
Yeah, the only reason, because this wasn't originally on the notes, the only reason I saw this because people kept tweeting it to me. So I just thought it was new. And then I saw IGN tweet it. Yeah, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, because I saw the same thing too. I was like,
15 hours ago they tweeted it. Why did they do that?
I don't know. IGN being IGN, man. But this is actually from 2019. Yeah, so it's like really old news. They lied to us, man.
Yeah, it is what it is. Then I'm not gonna take any comments on this shit. How did this article actually go under the radar? How did we miss this one?
Maybe they had a bug or something. I don't know.
It is a bug where like it was scheduled to go out that like it just went out. They programmed it for 2022.
That's pretty wild. Yeah, no, that's pretty wild because it's like April too. Not even like I can see it for like May 7th, like 2019, but no, it's like April 5th. So I don't know. That's weird.
Yeah,
but I mean, I agree with what you were saying though. You was spitting.
I definitely agree.
Like,
you definitely spit.
Watch that ass. Watch that ass.
Yeah, watch that ass.
It does seriously need to be everywhere. Like this should be a universal rule.
Yep.
What's the stinkiest event you ever been to, GB?
Ooh. Oh my god.
He has horror stories, y'all. He has horror stories.
Bro, I mean, like from like COD tournaments back in the day, like it's a universal thing, like across the board. You know, people just, I get it, it's like social cues, like a lot of people like don't catch up on it. There was one instance in particular, I won't go into the person's name, but it's a pretty funny story. You guys familiar with the esports pro Faker, League of Legends player?
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah. He's like one of the most famous esports pros in the world. A lot of people call him the Michael Jordan. They call him the Michael Jordan of esports, so on and so forth. So I was working at Twitch at the time, and we were all having our meetings and stuff. And then we had Faker, like one of the like partnership managers from the Korean wing at Twitch was like, hey, Faker's gonna come to our booth. And Faker was not signed to Twitch at the time, so this actually was like a really controversial thing, but he wanted to go to the Twitch booth. So if Faker wants to go to the Twitch booth, that's it. And there was a person that was running the front, and he was getting complaints all week because he just did not bathe like at all. We don't know why. We don't know what was going on. He was just like a Twitch moderator that was brought on board, to just be a part of the experience, because Twitch would do that when conventions were a thing. They like bring random moderators to give them work experience. But this guy just had multiple complaints, and we were constantly telling him like, yo, you gotta take a bath, So then Faker shows up, and he wasn't even like, I feel so bad, but he wasn't even like in the room. He was like far away, and Faker smelled the guy from like yonder, the distance. And the guy was like so embarrassed. He was like, I don't smell. It's all you guys, blah, blah. And it just became this like huge fucking thing. And then he just disappeared and we never saw him again. But he was like legit telling all of us that we smelled, that it was us and it wasn't him.
Everybody else.
And I was like, yo, am I being like odor lit right now? Like gaslit odor right now? Like this is some crazy, dude. So yeah. That was an experience that I had, and you knew it was bad. Like when once Faker was like, it smells really bad. There were Twitch people, like execs, were freaking out because they thought he was gonna leave. It was a fucking comedy, bro. Just seeing all these execs get paranoid about it. Esports pro like wanting to leave a booth. Oh, good old days.
Yeah, I remember. I think it was like E3. It was one of the E3s we went to where I remember like I caught a scent, like a stench on my nose, and then I turned to my left, and then it was a group of kids like on some couch. They were playing we were playing Smash Bros, and I just laughed. I was like, of course.
Of course, it came
Of course.
Always
it is what it is.
Just bring deodorant when you go to a convention. You know, it's okay, and just take a bath if you can. That's it.
I mean,
Not hard.
deodorant not going to help you because, like you said, it's not just like hygiene. It's like their clothes too. Some people just don't wash their clothes either. It just
wash your shit in alcohol. I don't know.
Man, say alcohol.
a cheap cologne. You can get one for like $30 from like fucking Old Navy or some shit. Like, bro, just a simple clean scent on top of your damn deodorant. Like, bro, come on.
No excuse. I will never forget when we went to E3 the first year and my luggage got lost, bro. And I was using literal free like swag that was given away, but even still, I still was able to clean my clothes and still smell nice. So that's kind of that's bad, man.
There's literally been times where like I've traveled and I forgot to put deodorant in my bag. That's the first. I go to CVS, Walgreens, down the street and buy one. Like it's $2. Like, come on, dog.
So I immediately went to I found a CVS. I found a store, the store closest to me, and I just bought whatever I could, bro. It's no excuse, man.
Yeah, it is what it is, though. Wash your ass, gamers. It's getting late. We're kind of at the 2-hour mark. I know people got things to do.
Black Ops shirt. It just reminds me every time I see it. It just reminds me of the struggle, man. Every time I see
people got things to do. So, you guys have anything you want to add to the conversation before we wrap this one up? Oh, okay.
Nope.
All right. Well, GB, you are our guest. What is your closing statement for episode 126 of the Game and Illuminati podcast? Go.
Well, we learned a lot of things today, right? We learned that sometimes we could be tricked with articles in 2019 by IGN and be presented as factual current news, which is totally not the case. We also learned that, saying that you're a hypocrite and also claiming that you don't care, not a valid defense. We learned that as well. And we also learned that everyone needs to buy a Steam Deck and give Gaben all the monies that you can possibly conjure up so that we can all have Steam Decks. But I just want to say that I had a really good time chatting with you guys. I'd love to come back again. Your community is pretty fucking dope. And you guys are incredibly lucky to have a good group of people that, I know you guys always roast each other, but you got a good group here. And it was a pleasure to be a part of. Thank you so much.
Hey, and JG, closing statement for episode 126. Go.
I think that Golden Boy has been like our most polite guest that we've ever had. Like that was great. Thank you, Golden Boy. Thank you, Golden Boy.
No problem.
Clap it up, community. We have a good community here. Okay, it's good. It's good. But right. So it's sad that we found out that our good friend, I've known this man TBH for a long time. It's sad that our good friend is going clinically insane, but we are going to get him the proper help that he deserves. Okay, so we got him. Don't worry about him, chat. If he ever tries this again and fights a boss for longer than 2 hours, just please tell that man, spam in the chat, take a break, cut the stream off. And hopefully he listens. I know he doesn't listen to his chat, but I hope he does listen that time and just take a break because we don't want to see this ever again, okay?
Ethos?
I just want to thank GB. This is the first time I've ever interacted with him. But thanks for dropping by. I appreciate it. Make sure you guys are watching the GI channel. We have a schedule now of stuff that we're gonna bring out, so you're gonna see a lot more content. And like TBH said, we have a Steam Deck review up there that I did, and there's some other videos that Chaos is already sorting and getting prepared. So you guys are gonna have a lot of content coming up. So if you've been wanting more content, it's coming. There you
And my closing statement for episode 126 is if you're watching the video version at youtube.com/GI updates, be sure to hit the like button, comment on your favorite moments. If you're listening to the audio on Apple or Spotify, please rate us 5 stars to help us get up in that algorithm. And if you made it this far in the video version, leave in the comment section #TBH1 because I did. All right, so this has been episode 126 of the Game Illuminati podcast. We appreciate everybody for coming through and listening, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.